You can probably tell from the noise with which that anthem was greeted that the Moroccan support slightly outnumbers that of the Red Devils at the Al Thumama this afternoon. There has been a heavy Moroccan supporter presence in Qatar, and they're ready to cheer their team on to try and match the might of this Belgium side that should have won something by now, and we are still waiting. To run you through the team news, 3 changes for Belgium. Leander Dendoncker, Yuri Tielemans and Yannick Carrasco drop out of the starting lineup from that which beat Canada. Thomas Meunier, Amadou Onana and Thorgan Hazard, younger brother of Eden Hazard, are those that come in. So Thibaut Courtois, who moves on to 99 caps today, is in goal. Thomas Meunier, Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen in the back 3. Timothy Castagne of Leicester, Amadou Onana of Everton, Axel Witsel and Thorgan Hazard in midfield, with Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard in behind. Michy Batshuayi, who reaches a half-century of caps today, 27 goals in his 49 caps previous to that. A very good record indeed for somebody who never seems to have found a permanent home, certainly in English football when he was at Chelsea and then on loan at Palace. Much more straightforward team news for Morocco this afternoon. The Atlas Lions are unchanged from that 0-0 draw against Croatia. So Yassine Bounou is the goalkeeper, Ashraf Hakimi, Nayef Aguerd of West Ham, Roman Saiss once of Wolves and Nusa Mazraoui are in a back 4. 3 in midfield, Azzedine Ounahi, Sofiane Amrabat and Salim Amala, and then Youssef An-Naziri is the front man, flanked by Hakim Ziyech of Chelsea and Sofiane Boufal, who you might remember playing for Southampton and scoring a goal of the season running the length of the pitch at St Mary's against West Bromwich Albion some 4 or 5 years ago. The pennants are exchanged between Eden Hazard and the giant Roman Saiss of Morocco, and Cesar Ramos, the Mexican referee, sorted out the coin toss, and we're ready for the off. If Liam Sanderson, Morocco are to do something this afternoon, is it too simple just to look at Ziyech as being the key man for them? Is there anybody else that needs to really step up?
I think obviously ultimately a lot of this tournament there's been a lot of individual players that people have been focused on, but I think the fact that, you know, Morocco drew with Croatia the other day, I think Belgium will know they're going to have to perform in this game to get the result. Nobody is going to let them just roll them over. So I think they would have taken a lot of confidence from the fact that Morocco could be really happy with the fact they drew with Croatia. I don't think anybody expected that to happen. So Belgium know, you know, they're going to have to step up. I think ultimately as well comes down to a lot of the goalkeeping errors during the tournament. I think Qatar, the goalkeeper, was absolutely woeful in those games as well, and they make that change as well. So having the back line, Hakimi, those types of players that could, you know, have that leadership as well, because you can't just focus on one player. The luxury that Belgium have is they have so many good individuals. You know, if you mark Kevin De Bruyne, there'll be Hazard, Axel Witsel will get things going as well. So they've got a lot of good individuals, but again, when we've seen the underdogs that have been fearless during these games, they've got a lot of joy out of it. So start on the front foot. Morocco need to take the game to them. Don't just sit back and allow them to do it. But a lot of focus will be on Hakimi and Ziyech as well.
Ready for the off on TalkSport. Ian Dancer and Leanne Sanderson with you. The Al Thumama Stadium is setting in Doha. We are coming to you live from Qatar as Group F gets into its second stage of group games. Belgium in their red shirts with the black shoulders and black shorts and socks will be kicking from left to right as we look. Morocco in their white strip with little flecks of green and red around the sleeves, and the whistles you can hear because the Morocco fans don't like the fact that Belgium are just holding the ball up inside their own half. Then it's fired into the Moroccan half, and it's taken forward by Eden Hazard. His brother Thorgan is out there, but it's well won back from Morocco by Hakim Ziyech, and trying to outpower his opponent, and gets the drop on his opponent right hand side. Early ball into the box is too far ahead of El Naziri and just collected by the goalkeeper. But good strong run to start from Hakim Ziyech for Morocco. 0-0.
Yeah, good run down that right hand side. I expected him to get a little bit more quality putting the ball into El Naziri there, because I feel like he overhit it. It's amazing because Alderweireld and Vertonghen were going absolutely mental at the linesman to say, how is that not offside? They felt really strongly, but obviously it wasn't, because, you know, they got all the automated systems in place now as well, where the linespeople can put their flag up, but they were going absolutely crazy at the linesman. But there was a situation up the top where Eden Hazard could have rolled it out to his brother, and he didn't. Held on to the ball, and it was good because Batshuayi dropped him deep, you know, to pick up the ball, set it and get things going. So we could look to see that happen as well. Batshuayi dropping in a little bit deep, and Kevin De Bruyne can make that third man run.
Ball's rolled to Toby Alderweireld on the halfway line as Belgium try and settle down and get some football played. Meunier on the right hand side floats the ball into the edge of the Moroccan area, but it's knocked away. El Naziri, who's a tall man up front for Morocco, tries to get a piece of it but slips through his grasp and comes back to that Belgian back three. And it's Alderweireld again getting his head up and rolls it back to the familiar figure of Jan Vertonghen. 144 appearances. Castagna playing on the left of a three, I noticed. Of course, we're so used to see him playing for Leicester as a right back, but left of a three-man centre-half formation here, Leanne.
Yeah, obviously a completely different position, but I think this is what Roberto Martinez does. He tries to fit, you know, players in, and that's the kind of thing I would do as well. You know, fit your best players, put them out there. He will train in that position during this tournament as well, and in the off days going over that role. But it is quite different to switch from being, you know, defensive to then being in a more advanced role. But I'm sure in this modern day football, you know, defenders now are not, they're almost like a centre forward at times, aren't they, when we see the likes of Reece James, Ben Chilwell, those types of players for Chelsea. So I'm sure he'll be comfortable there.
Thomas Meunier then playing as right wing back in this 3-4-3 system that Belgium are deploying. Morocco with it black, and El Naziri holds it up on halfway, skips away very neatly from Onana, but then De Bruyne comes back to win it, and then he's had the ball taken off his toe, and El Naziri stayed down on the halfway line. He's holding his arm up, wanting some treatment, got caught in the side of the face as he went to ground, and the Mexican referee stops proceedings. Just caught by Kevin De Bruyne's flailing arm. Nothing intentional about what De Bruyne did, but down El Naziri went anyway. 0-0.
Yeah, no intention there at all. It was just Kevin De Bruyne trying to come away with the ball. He did catch him, but be interesting to see what the rest are going to do. Maybe it's going to be a throw, maybe they'll do a drop ball. Looks like De Bruyne is about to throw the ball back to Morocco to get them going again. Good sportsmanship.
Yes.
He didn't have to do that.
So Morocco have it back in their back four with Nayef Aguirre of West Ham United. Now Hakimi, very important player on their right hand side, been excellent for Paris Saint-Germain. That's such a great spell at Borussia Dortmund as well. Hakimi, ball hit long downfield, trying to get Ziyech away. El Naziri's back on his feet and back out there, might be able to receive it as the ball slipped through to him by Boufal. Boufal now coming across from left to right for Morocco, picks out Ziyech, but there's two Belgian defenders watching his every move, so he has to give it back to a teammate, then whips the ball into the near post, almost flicked on towards El Naziri, but Belgium again get it clear. But Morocco having a spell of possession here. Amrabat, their defensive midfielder, sits in front of the back four and does all the dirty work for them. Picks out the captain Saiss, who drifts well down the left hand side, can put in a decent cross. It's actually headed away by the first defender, Alderweireld, and then De Bruyne knocks it in field, but Batshuayi's touch lets him down, but he's bailed out by Eden Hazard. Batshuayi again finds Eden Hazard. Torgan Hazard takes over left hand side, tries to thread a ball through to Batshuayi inside the area. Shot comes in, it's deflected wide for a corner. Good goalkeeping by Bunu coming out to narrow the angle, but the Belgians have a corner at 0-0.
I mentioned before the game, having a goalkeeper like Bunu having to have the situation where they have to be called upon. That's a really good save, but ultimately I also think Batshuayi has to go across goal there. You know, he doesn't really get hold of it. He's kind of reaching, stretching, but good ball from Eden Hazard to play those balls through. But Batshuayi just overstretched the play a little bit. 5
minutes gone on Talk Sport. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. First corner of the game to the Red Devils. Over on the far side, two men standing over it. You've got Batshuayi standing right on the goal line. Onana's in the box, so too Alderweireld and Vertonghen and Witsel. And the Hazard brothers are out there concocting what to do with this corner kick. It's a right-footed in-swinger. 6 yards out and headed wide for another corner, dangerously by a Moroccan defender. Just skimmed off the top of her head and went just the wrong side of the post for another corner for Belgium. 0-0.
That was actually really, really good defending. I think it was Saiss that ended up heading it up, but it looked like it was a really good ball from Eden Hazard. Nice pace on it, nice whip. and those ones can be quite difficult because there was a lot of Belgian players lining up on the back post. Vertonghen was there, Alderweireld was there to head it in, so I thought that was really good defending, and it's gone out for another corner.
Right wing corner for Belgium. Whole clutch of players standing around the penalty spot as Thorgan Hazard hits a right-footed outswinger. Up go the heads, it's cleared out towards the edge of the area. Castagna helps it down to Eden Hazard, left-hand side, tries to whip a ball in with his right. Might just drop in the penalty area for a Belgian player, but it's whipped away. No nonsense clearance downfield for Morocco, and Courtois comes way out of his ground to retrieve it. 0-0.
Yeah, good goalkeeping there. I feel like, you know, it must be absolutely brilliant for the Hazard family to see the two brothers playing in a major tournament together, and it's almost like every time there's a corner they go out there together trying to orchestrate what's going on.
Now Ziyech swings the ball out to Sofiane Boufal, who can keep the ball in play and gets up to the halfway line, tight to this near touchline as Morocco are attacking from right to left as we look in this first half. Looks to take on Onana. Good ball in field. Chance for them to work the chance with Unani into the box. It's a hurried clearance from Belgium. Amrabat's on the scene trying to win the loose ball for Morocco. Good strength though from Eden Hazard, and then Witsel looks for Thorgan Hazard. Starts to stretch his legs and move into the Moroccan half on the far left-hand side of the field for Belgium. Checks his run and goes back to the halfway line.
I think Onana in this game as well, there's only 10 minutes into the game, but he certainly looks like he's labouring a little bit. Like, you need to get out to the ball. What I liked about the Morocco is Boufal actually did a nice little step over, and the Moroccan fans are going absolutely crazy. Every time Belgium have got the ball, there's a lot of boos, you know, there's a lot of like stuff like that. So the Moroccan are definitely outnumbering the Belgian players, but I think Onana needs to be a bit more mobile in that defensive third area because he's very stationary when he's receiving the ball as well. 0-0
here in the World Cup between Belgium and Morocco. Let's get team news from the MEM in the FA Cup. Bristol Rovers, Boreham Wood, Ian Abrahams.
Changes from midweek dance from the side that won at Colchester. As for Bournemouth, 3 changes from their last side, which played last week in the National League, and only 3 survivors from their trip to Goodison last March.
Thank you, Ian. And also they're about to get underway in the next hour at the Pirelli. Burton against National League South Chippenham Town. There for TalkSport, Jeff Peters.
Well, Cheltenham without Joe Hanks, their match winner against Lincoln in the previous round. He's injured, but Will Richards has recovered from his knock last weekend. They include Will Tizard on loan from Southampton. Burton welcome back skipper John Brayford and Johnny Smith from injury, and David Keeler done from illness.
Thank you, Jeff. Whole clutch of FA Cup games this afternoon, and we'll keep you updated on TalkSport as to what's going on. It is 0-0 as we played 9 minutes. And I should tell you, in actual fact, it wasn't Bunu that made that save, because he's been changed before kick-off. We weren't told in our commentary position here that Yassine Bunu was missing, but they changed their keeper before kick-off. I think that's Munir Mohammadi out there, who plays for the Al Wahda club. He's the one that blocked that ball behind. So I don't know what's happened with Yassine Bunu of Sevilla, who started all the qualifiers for Morocco, but he is not that. It is indeed Munir Mohammadi, who plays for the Al Wahda club in the Saudi Arabian League.
He must have picked up an injury in the warm-up.
Maybe in the warm-up.
Because he was in the lineup.
He was. So, a change before kick-off forced on Walid Regragui, the 47-year-old Moroccan manager. 0-0 the score. 10 minutes gone on TalkSport in the World Cup. De Bruyne trying to roll Saiss, and he's brought down by Saiss. Right-hand corner of the penalty area. Danger area for Belgium to try and exploit here. Bit of rough and tumble between Saiss, and he landed right on top of De Bruyne as well. Lovely, just what you need. Yeah,
that looked pretty painful, but really good position here for Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, he got the complete wrong side. Saiss was the wrong side of him. He rolled him, and he had no other choice but to bring him down, really. But this will be interesting, because it almost, for me, I don't need to tell Kevin De Bruyne how to play the ball. You know, he's one of the best free kick takers in the world. But what I would do in this situation is hit it low and hard into an area in between the penalty spot, 6-yard box. This could be a really good. Be interested to see though if it's going to be an in-swinger or an out-swinger, because in this situation I'd prefer an in-swinger.
So a test for Munir Mohammadi. What can he do? That's his first proper test, having come in at the 11th hour to keep goal for Morocco. De Bruyne, the man most obvious to take this free kick from the right-hand corner of the Moroccan penalty area. And the Moroccan defenders only really holding their line just ahead of the 6-yard box. De Bruyne has Torgan Hazard out there with him. He runs over the ball. De Bruyne chips it to the far post, looking for Onana. Headed out, but Castagna keeps it alive. Eden Hazard down the left-hand side outpaces another former Chelsea player, well, the current Chelsea player rather, in Ziyech against the former London Blue, and it's out of play for a Belgium throw. 11 minutes gone, and we're led to believe that Bounou actually was withdrawn whilst the anthems were going on. So very dramatic late change for Morocco. So Munir Mohammadi is in. He did have that one half chance from Batshuayi to have to deal with, and now he's got a corner to deal with, and the ball is put behind by Ashraf Hakimi. 12 minutes gone on TalkSport in the World Cup in Group F. Belgium, who beat Canada by 1-0, the only goal scored in this group so far, have this short corner that they've worked back into central midfield. Ball's clipped into the area, headed out with the goalkeeper came, but his defender Saiz beat him to it, and Alderweireld lets the ball dribble behind for yet another corner kick. That'll be their third of the game, Belgium, and the keeper looked very uncertain coming for a ball that was clearly Romain Saiz's to win. Yeah,
it was a good job Saiz kind of got that away, because I'm not quite sure why the goalkeeper's coming there, quite erratic. But good play from Belgium, they're really putting on the pressure now.
So corner kick for Belgium, and again that line of Belgian players above the penalty spot breaks as Torgan Hazard's corner comes in. Cleared away, De Bruyne lofts it out to his captain left hand side. Eden Hazard trying to wriggle away from Amrabat, but ran out of room on that far side, and the Moroccans get a throw at 0-0.
Yeah, I think Eden Hazard needs to receive the ball a little bit higher up the pitch. I think he tried to get the ball out of his feet, just overran it a little bit, but it was good because Ziyech and his teammate were getting really close to Hazard, giving him no space on the ball, and that's the type of thing you need to do. But I think with this Belgian team, I think we all expect them to be so much better than they show, because they're so excited when they play individually. But what I noticed is, like, Axel Witsel and Onana in the midfield, they're not very mobile. They're quite stationary, they kind of go side to side, they sit. Kevin De Bruyne is very, they kind of walk around. We spoke about Messi earlier waiting for his moments, but I just noticed they're a little bit pedestrian, Belgium,
it's a proper double pivot, isn't it, those two?
It is. And I just feel like, as you can see now, Axel Wetzel's asking for the ball, but Tongan and Alderweireld are playing it between them, but there's not really much movement in the middle of the pitch. And I think that's something they need to change, because Hazard is trying to receive the ball, but he's quite low when he's trying to receive it higher up.
But Tongan fires the ball out to the halfway line on this near side, the right, and Thomas Meunier for Belgium. He then sends it back out to the left, looking for Torgan Hazard, but by chesting it down, he gave it straight back to Ziyech. And now Hakimi, the right back for Morocco, guides it back to the edge of the area. More on the keeper that came in right at the last, Munir Mohammadi. He was number one at the Russia World Cup for Morocco, and he has won 40-odd caps, so it's not like he's completely lacking in experience. This is his fifth major tournament as well. He's kept goal at three World Cups and 3 African Cup of Nations as well, so he knows his way around. But he looked a little nervous coming out for that long diagonal ball that Alderweireld put into the box, and now he's got another free kick to defend, because Torgan Hazard's been brought down by Amrabat, left hand side approaching the corner of the area. More chance for Belgium to create problems from a set piece at 0-0.
It's difficult as well, because for the outfield players, especially the back line, Masraoui, Hakimi, Saiz, for a goalkeeper to be changed that late on, for any player to be changed that late on, it's quite difficult for them to have to adapt to that. And for a player's perspective, especially a goalkeeper, when you're a second choice on the bench, you won't really be called upon. But the fact that you're called upon so late on like that, that's quite a lot to get your head around.
De Bruyne again over the free kick. Quarter of an hour gone on TalkSport in the World Cup. Group F. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. Lots of Moroccan fans whistling around the Al Tumama Stadium, hoping that this comes to nothing for Roberto Martinez's men. De Bruyne might actually leave it for Hazard, who rolls it to Eden Hazard at the edge of the area. De Bruyne then tried to drive. That's one off the training ground, but it thumped into a Moroccan leg and went behind for Belgium's 5th corner of the game at 0-0.
That was a good sell from Kevin De Bruyne, because I didn't see that one coming at all, and it was good interchange play on the free kick, definitely straight off the training ground, because sometimes you try these things, they don't come off, but it's paid off and it's gone out for a corner.
To be taken on that far side, the right-footed in-swinger to come from Torgan Hazard. Castagna just lurking at the edge of the area. Clutch a player 6 yards out and headed over. Big chance for Amadou Onana. Stealing forward, he's a tall man, the Everton midfielder. Got his head on it 6 yards out, but couldn't keep it down. Goal kick Morocco. It's still 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, again, it was almost like Onana went in, you know, he almost jumped too early. The keeper had no chance. Didn't have no chance at all, but good positioning. They're definitely getting a lot of set pieces, Belgium, on the left side, the right side, a lot of corners, but I think, you know, Mazraoui and Saïs have actually defended really, really well in those areas, because we know with this Belgian team, the pressure will come. You know, they'll start from the back with Vertonghen and Alderweireld, play it into the middle of the park, but as we saw before, they're almost bypassing Axel Witsel and Onana and going straight into De Bruyne or Hazard, but then that's when the movement needs to come. You can kind of see Batshuayi, he's got his hands out as if to say, what, you know, the movement in the final third just doesn't seem to be there. So, you know, they're lucky, I think, they're playing against a team like Morocco, because against another team, you know, like a Germany or a France, they're going to be high pressing, whereas Morocco are quite happy for Belgium to have the ball. I mean, the possession must be through the roof for Belgium.
Leanne Sanderson, it's about 66% I think at the moment. Leanne Sanderson, you can hear, former England and Arsenal striker, alongside me, Ian Danter. TalkSport of the World Cup. Games to come straight after this. Croatia against Canada in this group. 4 o'clock kickoff. Nigel Adley and Dean Saunders. They'll include round 2 updates from the FA Cup ties getting underway this afternoon. And then, what a game in prospect. It's 7 o'clock tonight, live on TalkSport. Germany taking on Spain. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot, the men who watched all 4 matches yesterday. Also Stuart Pearce with them. Germany given a big, big hand by Costa Rica beating Japan. You heard that on TalkSport 2 earlier today. A 1-0 win for the Central American side, throwing that group wide open, depending on what Germany can do tonight against the Spanish. Here it's 0-0. Morocco just giving the ball away. Belgium coming forward with De Bruyne. Runs into a wall of shirts and it's one back. And then lost by Aguerd. Shot comes in straight at the goalkeeper. And it was Thomas Meunier that tried a drive from just inside the area left-hand side, but it was straight at Mohamedi. And Morocco bring it away, 0-0.
Yeah, Meunier wasn't really going to challenge the goalkeeper there, probably run player in that position. But one thing I want to pick up on is, I speak a lot about Kevin De Bruyne, and in these first 2 games I feel like he's doing things like we're not used to Kevin De Bruyne giving away the ball ever. So it's not about being hypercritical, but in that situation before, he picked up the ball, he tried a backheel that just didn't even come off, and then it did feel, you know, for him to take a shot, but at the same time I feel like Kevin De Bruyne just doesn't look the same as he does for Manchester City, but we can say the same about a lot of players when they play for their clubs.
0-0. It's also 0-0 at half-time in the FA Cup between Ebbsfleet United and Fleetwood. Free kick for Morocco, sent wide to pick out Hakim Ziyech. He's looking to take on Castagna, gets inside him for a moment, ball just wriggled away from him, and in trying to win it back he just toe-poked it through to Thibaut Courtois. But it's nip and tuck in these opening 20 minutes. Belgium have had, as we mentioned, pretty much 2/3 of the ball. They've had 1 direct effort on goal. Morocco yet to really test Thibaut Courtois. Here's Batshuayi, who scored the only goal of the game against Canada. He's been dispossessed, and the ball's back with Naif Aguerd of West Ham, who was a bit of an injury doubt at the start of the season. Fought his way back to fitness, got himself into the West Ham team, and here he is at a World Cup. Diagonal ball trying to pick out Sofiane Boufal, but Meunier there to head it out for a Moroccan throw, 0-0.
Yeah, Morocco look like they're actually pretty happy for Belgium to have the ball. I mean, they're not really pressing really, really hard, but they're setting traps, and it seems to be paying off, because I think Belgium are quite deep in this game.
Unahi for Morocco, square ball into midfield, up it goes to the edge of the area, back it goes again to Unahi, and a long range effort that whistles over the crossbar. Worth a try from Hakim Ziyech. He just chanced his arm from a good 35 yards out. Courtois very casually looked at it and decided not even to raise his arms. Mind you, it was only a couple of foot over when it went over the bar. Goal kick, 0-0.
It was worth a go from Hakim Ziyech. It wasn't that far over, and I don't think we've seen many long-range shots and opportunities during these games. I think a lot of it has been close control in the final third, but it was worth a go.
21 minutes played, approaching the midway point of this first half. Our second live game of the day. Already on TalkSport 2, we brought you Costa Rica's 1-0 win against Japan, who, remember, have beaten Germany in their first game. 0-0 between the Red Devils and the Atlas Lions, and it's Morocco who are trying to win possession back inside their own half, but it's tidied up by Amadou Onana. He plays a little 1-2 with Meunier, rolls it into Axel Witsel in the centre circle, goes through the legs of De Bruyne, but he gets it back from Torgan Hazard.
They're given offside.
Offside's been given, so Morocco get themselves a free kick. Morocco have failed to qualify from the group stage in their last 3 World Cup appearances, in 4 of their last 5. They did make the round of 16 back in 1986, before you were born, Leanne, when they
only just
when they lost to West Germany, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and all, in those days. I had been born at that point, some considerable point before. Foul given as Boufal got upended inside his own half, so Morocco have themselves a free kick. There's a Mexican wave going round the Al Tumama Stadium, which is normally an indicator that supporters aren't quite engaged with the match that they're watching, but
I think the Moroccan fans are just having an amazing time. They're literally, the atmosphere, probably one of the best I've seen, genuinely, from the fans, because they're so vocal. You can hear them, they're very, very loud, and every time Belgium's got the ball, they're booing him. Now
down the right hand side, a chance for Amala to get the ball into the edge of the box, but wriggles away. And then Courtois, he dumps El Naziri on the seat of his pants with a Cruyff turn inside the 6-yard box. How cheeky was that from Thibaut Courtois? And Belgium are on the front foot with Eden Hazard.
That was amazing, having the confidence to Cruyff it, but then he did really well, and then it looked like he was going to end up losing it in the end as well. But that's confidence for you, Cruyffing it in front of your own goal like that. I'm not sure Roberto Martinez will be happy with that.
He will no doubt win his 100th cap when Belgium take on Croatia later this week, Thibaut Courtois. But he showed El Naziri a clean pair of heels by back-heeling it away.
What was interesting, the Cruyff turn happened, and then it was like he didn't have any rush, so then he took his touch almost back towards him, and it was almost like he could have potentially got back in to retrieve the ball. But that's confidence. Wow.
He didn't give it up, did he, El Naziri, in fairness to him. Ball's clipped out of play. It's going to be a throw into Belgium in their left-back position. Midway through the first half then, on TalkSport, and next Saturday, as well as the World Cup, we bring you live and exclusive radio commentary in the boxing. Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora, the trilogy from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the WBC heavyweight title. Adam Catchell, Gareth A. Davis and the team will be there. You can listen via your smart speaker, DAB+, or of course you can download the free TalkSport app and listen to the boxing wherever you go. Fury against Chisora next Saturday night from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which, like many a Premier League stadium, has been lying dormant for the last couple of weeks. We'll kick up a gear on Boxing Day. We'll bring you every game from the Boxing Day round of fixtures on the TalkSport network, including those games on the 27th and the 28th of December. Plus the World Darts at Ali Pali, starting on the 19th. We're so much live sport, Leanne.
It's the best time of year, really, isn't it? You know, we're having the time of our lives at all these different games, so many different teams, watching players, being at the stadiums, and I just feel really blessed that I'm able to, be at the games as well and watch these incredible players. Because when you watch games live, as you know, Dan, it's nothing quite like it, is there? Being there when Ronaldo scored the other day for me was like a dream come true.
Now Morocco offside as Ziyech tried to break down the right hand side. You can see what Ziyech is trying to do. He's waiting to get off the shoulder of Castagna or maybe Vertonghen and then make that break, but the ball's just not coming to him at the right time.
I think he could have delayed his run there, Ziyech, as well. I think he almost got a little bit too ahead of himself, and he could have held his run. But again, it's good positive play, because at least they're making the runs, at least they're trying to thread the balls through. You'd rather teams be offside than him just sitting back playing really, really reserved. It's good that Ziyech is making that run to stretch them, because Vertonghen and Alderweireld are not necessarily known for their pace at all. So I think Hakim Ziyech needs to almost come more central as well, to go at them more directly instead of always going down the right hand side.
Belgium have failed to score in just one of 52 international games. They always seem to find the net. The only time they didn't manage that was against the Netherlands in the Nations League in September, and that run started after they lost to the French in the World Cup semi-final in Russia just over 4 years ago. And there's Amadou Onana with a pretty aimless pass through the left of centre. I don't really know whether he's looking for Hazard or Batshuayi, but he bisected them both beautifully. Got an anvil in his boot, went out for a goal kick to Morocco. 0-0 the score. Yeah,
to me it looked like he was trying to spread the play to Hazard on that left-hand side, but just poor execution from Onana. But I think in these types of games, Morocco will start to frustrate Belgium, because as the game goes on, people expect Belgium to win these games pretty comfortably, because individually they are fantastic players. But my only concern is it's when they get the ball at the back, it's almost like there's no midfield movement, and then it's like Hazard will drop into the hole, doesn't really get the ball. He made a run a second ago and the ball just didn't come. So it's almost like they're not on the same page at times. We know about them individually, but a team collectively, they just don't look like they're on the same page.
Back it goes to Munir Mohammadi, the Moroccan goalkeeper. Saïs, once of Wolverhampton Wanderers, of course, played as a defensive midfielder as well as a centre-half when he was at Molineux. Definitely a centre-half for his country. Giant man at the back. Aguerd, it's a left-footed ball out to the near side, and Bouffial's just got him behind for a moment, up to the edge of the area. Sofiane Boufal looking for an option, clips it to the far post. Ziyech heads it down, and a volley over the top. Unahi had the final effort, or was it Amala? But it went over the bar. But just for a moment, Sofiane Boufal got in behind with a simple diagonal ball, and the Belgians looked panicked for a moment. 0-0.
Yeah, Boufal did really well there, but I think the opportunity, I think Belgium got around him too quickly. There was 4 players, that were stopping him, and then the ball fell and the opportunity went. But it's almost like when they get these moments where they do get in behind, they have to be a little bit more direct and just go directly to goal.
Bouffial very cute there, and won a free kick and earned a yellow card for a Belgian player as well, as he was brought down, and it's Amadou Onana who's shaking his head as he walks away. And that means Onana will miss the game against Croatia, which is their final group stage game. Came on as a substitute against the Canadians and got booked.
That's harsh, I think. I don't think that's a booking.
No,
the 2 players have gone up for the ball. Yes, he did hit him a little bit, but I don't think that's a booking.
The booking is from the Mexican referee, and now Morocco have a free kick pretty much dead centre of the Belgian half, so they can go right or left with their delivery. Centre halves are up from the back. Ziyech, as always, standing over the ball, so a left-footed delivery tends to suggest he's going to go to the left-hand corner of the box. In fact, he goes down the centre, looking for El Naziri, just didn't drop for his striker. Caught me out, almost caught the Belgians out, goes behind for a goal kick. 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, and Naziri made a really good run, and Hakim Ziyech tried to find him, but he just overran it a little bit. But again, it's good that Morocco are trying these little intricate things, because I think I'd mentioned the pace before of Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and Naziri nearly got in then. So good positive play from Morocco. And I think in these games, though, what we see is like the underdog teams seem to always be doing well until it gets just before half-time or after half-time, and then the other team seems to kick in. So I feel like Morocco both teams haven't really had many chances in front of goal. Hakim Ziyech from really far out, maybe from 20-25 yards when he took that strike on, but Belgium just haven't really created that much. And this is what I'm talking about, in the 60th, 70th minute, you bring on a Romelu Lukaku and things can change.
Leanne Sanderson alongside me, Ian Danter, live in Doha. The setting for this game is the Al Timana Stadium, and Belgium at 0-0 have got themselves a free kick just over halfway. Amala just a little bit too strong in the challenge against Torgan Hazard, and so the ball's with Toby Alderweireld, making it 126 appearances for his country. Ball given away by Meunier on this near side. Amrabat picks it up for Morocco, but he's instantly got 2 Belgian players around him, but clipped very, very neatly in field by Unani. And Unai gets it out to the right hand side, and Achraf Hakimi, who's got Ziyech outside him. I think that right hand side for Morocco is key this afternoon. Achraf Hakimi gets it back, but he's dispossessed. Good work by Torgan Hazard coming into the Belgian side today, but his ball in field is snaffled up by Salim Amala, and Morocco have it back. Amrabat once again. El Naziri made a run through the middle, but would have been offside had it been played to him. So Amrabat went out left looking for Boufal. Belgium win it back. De Bruyne chests it down for Batshuayi, but a poor ball from Batshuayi this time. And the ball being surrendered by both sides very, very cheaply at this point. Half an hour gone, 0-0.
That was quite strange with Batshuayi, because I think Kevin De Bruyne and Hazard were looking to make that run in behind, and Batshuayi only had one thing on his mind, where he was going to go backwards, but it was almost going to go so far back it would end up with Alderweireld. So I feel like, you know, when Batshuayi is up front, he needs to play those little intricate passes, just maybe set it for an Hazard to go in behind. But I agree with you, Dan. So I think, you know, Ziyech and Hakimi down this right hand side have been really good for Morocco. I think Boufal as well on the left has also been a bright spark, and you can see when they're getting the ball, they are fearless in their attack.
Roberto Martinez having a chat with Thierry Henry as play restarts. On TalkSport, 0-0 in the World Cup Group F. Belgium in possession with Thomas Meunier. Alderweireld has to turn the ball back into his own half for another Centurion, making his 144th appearance tonight, Jan Vertonghen. Now Witsel comes to pick it up from him. Back for Vertonghen once more. He's not being pressed as he has the ball just shy of the centre circle. Witsel once again into Onana. No tempo to Belgium's build-up play at all. They've taken it down to walking pace here.
It's almost like a pre-season game when I'm watching it at times. There's no movement. If you look at the middle of the park, there's no movement. Hazard's getting on the ball, just did a really good turn there as well. But
lovely
other than that,
from Eden Hazard, plays it infield to De Bruyne. Can spot Meunier, right-hand corner of the area. First time ball into the near post, but it's well claimed by Mohamedi. He was hit straight at him. There was nobody in red running across him to put him off, but he had to hold on to it all the same, and he did. 0-0.
That was a poor ball from Meunier there. I think, you know, you've got four players in there. You see Hazard, Batshuayi makes that front post run, but that's a poor ball into the box. But as we saw there, any given moment, Hazard picks up the ball on the half turn, gets it going. Kevin De Bruyne gets it, plays it out to Meunier, and a really poor ball into the box. But we're mentioning, you know, it's almost pedestrian from Belgium. I think in his first half, a lot of the players are not moving to get on the ball. I've not been impressed with Onana, not been impressed by Witsel at all. I think they're just very labouring in those areas, and I think they need a little bit more flexibility and mobility in there, because they're checking towards the ball. But if I'm Morocco, I'm saying happy days, they're not going to affect me. They're coming all the way back to receive the ball. Hazard needs to do a little bit more like he just done. Get on the half turn, because when Eden Hazard gets running at you, not many people can really stop him.
Just over 10 minutes to half time on TalkSport. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. Stays like this at the whistle, then this will be the 14th of 26 games so far that have been goalless at the break in this World Cup. Balls on the centre circle and switch for Morocco out to this left-hand side, and Mazraoui taken up by Unahi. Back it goes to Sofiane Amrabat. Aguerd now picks it up, the West Ham centre half, leaves it for Hakimi. Ball in field for Amala, does really well with a couple of touches to stop Belgium winning it back. Looks second favourite to win that ball. Amrabat under a bit of pressure from Eden Hazard, gives it back to Aguerd, just shy of the halfway line. There's a Morocco player gone down off the ball, but the ball's gone wide right to Hakimi, who tries to strike it goals, and Ziyech gets right underneath it in the end, and it's over the bar. There was a player that gone down under pressure from Onana, who's on a yellow card, remember, but in the end Hakimi stole forward, tried his luck, but was well over. Goal kick, 0-0.
I'd expected Hakimi to do a little bit better there. I think he almost got caught in two minds. I thought he should have played it across to Boufal. I thought like he was looking to see if he was there, but in the end he just kind of swung at the ball with no real composure in front of goal. But again, that was a really good run from Ziyech to create that space. Onana pulls him down, but I'd expect Hakimi to do a little bit better in that situation.
Now here come Belgium with Kevin De Bruyne up towards 25 yards out, trying to swing his left foot at it. Terrific block in the end from Mazraoui, but it does go behind for a sixth Belgium corner at 0-0, and we're into the last 10 minutes of the half.
I like Mazraoui, I like him this year for Bayern as well. I think he's a really good player, and that was really good play because he stayed with Kevin De Bruyne. Usually he gets away from players Kevin De Bruyne is able to stop the balls through, but Mazraoui kept going with him all across field, and it's gone out for a corner.
Oliver on the far side, it'll be Torgan Hazard once again to swing it in right-footed, whips it in, but the keeper punches one-fisted well clear as well. Got real distance on that punch, and that meant that Belgium had to go all the way back via Castagna to the halfway line of Meunier to retrieve the loose ball. Ball goes forward to Eden Hazard, his kid brother's just outside him. Torgan Hazard has it, poor first touch allows Hakimi to get a foot in and put it out for a throw. Stays 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, that was good keeping. I mean, if the keeper's going to come and punches it that far, then that's the type of goalkeeping that you want to see, because it brings confidence. But I think Torgan Hazard down this left-hand side, he's overrun the ball quite a lot. Like, he's getting on the ball, then Morocco are getting a little bit of a sniff and they're just intercepting it. So he needs to have the ball a little bit closer to him so he's able to get past players, because, again, they're getting a lot of joy in the middle of the park, but they're not really breaking down the right or the left, are they? I think Morocco seem like they have a plan with Hakimi and Ziyech when they do get it. They're not having a lot of possession, Morocco, but when they do get it, they're trying to make things happen.
Ian Danter and Leanne Sanderson with you on TalkSport this Sunday afternoon with 2 more games to come. Stay on this frequency for Croatia-Canada at 4 p.m. with Nigel Adley and Dean Saunders. They might still be arguing about Wales. That could be good value just for them two bickering about Gareth Bale. And then from 7 o'clock tonight, Spain against Germany. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce bring you a true heavyweight World Cup contest. It's 0-0 here between Belgium and Morocco, and a scoreline that Walid Regragui will be absolutely delighted with if Morocco can keep it all square till the break. Perhaps they've got a bit more ambition than that. Amrabat powering his way through the centre circle and then fouls Amadou Onana. I thought he got away with it, but it was a clear pull of the shirt on Onana, and it'll be a free kick to Belgium inside their own half. 38 minutes coming up on the watch. It is still on TalkSport. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. Only one clear shot on target from Belgium, a Thomas Meunier effort straight down the throat of the last second replacement keeper Mounir Mohammadi, and a couple of efforts from distance from Morocco, but Courtois not fully tested yet. Torgan Hazard trying to work the ball down the left hand side of the Morocco box for De Bruyne, who goes down. He was fouled. He just tried to turn and change his footing. His feet were taken from under him. Saiz brought him down. Free kick to Belgium.
It was quite a strange one, because initially it looked like the referee wasn't going to give it. It looked like he slipped, but I think Saiz definitely took his legs. Belgium have had a lot of free kicks in these areas on the left side, the right side, so they need to capitalise on that. But I think Roberto Martinez at half-time, if I was him, I personally would be taking off Onana. I think he did well in that situation before, but you've got Yuri Tillemans on the bench, you've got Carrasco that started in the other game as well, but I'd bring on Tillemans at some point, because I just think the midfield, Wetzel and Onana, just haven't been mobile enough. And
Onana's on a yellow card, which he might be mindful of. Also having put in another challenge not long after receiving a yellow. He's one of the Belgian players in the box for this free kick. Down the left-hand side of the penalty area. De Bruyne standing over it. Clips it in right-footed. Trying to catch the keeper at lands on the roof of the net. Tried to whip it in to the goalkeeper's near post, but got just a bit too much club on it, and it landed on the roof of the Moroccan net. 0-0 goal kick.
It wasn't too far in the end. It looked like he got a lot of dip on it and it went up and over, but I was quite surprised that he shot from that position. Maybe he's trying to catch the goalkeeper off guard, because it looked like it was almost too far out on the left hand side to whip it. It's Kevin De Bruyne. We know he can score from anywhere. We know he can do things that most players can't do, but Belgium at that point, free kick from that area, had loaded the box. Everybody was in there.
Belgium in possession with De Bruyne, centre of the Moroccan half. Laid off for Onana, looks for Batshuayi at the edge of the area, clearly offside, and the flag has gone, and it will be a free kick. It's clear, looking at the statistics, that Belgium are trying to attack primarily down their left with Azar. Morocco looking to Hakimi and Ziyech down the same flank, down their right. That's the contest in this game, Leanne Sanderson.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Morocco are getting a lot of joy with that. With Hakimi, we mentioned it. I think he should have done a lot better in front of goal a second ago. I don't think he was expecting the ball to fall to him, and he's trying to find Boufal, but I think Morocco are giving it a good go, and you can see, we've said it many times, you know, it's quite an interesting stat that there's been, you say, 14 games that have been 0-0 at half-time. It's almost like, is it because teams are waiting until the second half to get going, or is it because the teams that are the underdogs, you know, are quite shocked that they're still in the game? Because some of the games you'd expect the other teams to just have more quality, but for me, I think it shows you, if you have a little bit of heart and desire, anything can be possible, because no team's really allowing them to walk all over them. Morocco against Croatia played really well. They did.
Costa Rica showed that. They were 0-0 with Japan at half-time and ended up winning today. You heard that on TalkSport earlier this Sunday lunchtime. Now we're into the early afternoon back at home. Belgium trying to thread the ball through to Batshuayi by Meunier, but it was overhit by Meunier, straight through to Mohammadi. and he bowls the ball out to Amrabat, and then Aguirre plays the ball downfield. Amala loses out. Belgium coming forward, they win it back. De Bruyne, he ran into Saiz, but Saiz's clearance went straight to Eden Hazard. Great challenge, Hakimi on the left-hand corner of the box, just to stop Hazard chinking into a dangerous area. But Belgium have it again. Witsel out on the far side of the field, 3.5 to go, plus whatever the referee wants to add on for stoppages, and there haven't been many in this first half. Don't expect 7 or 8 minutes minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half on TalkSport. Now a throw to Belgium out on the left-hand side, 0-0.
That was a great tackle from Hakimi, and we talk about fearlessness, and it was really, really good. I think we've said it many times, but I just think Belgium are quite pedestrian in their middle third. I think, Kevin De Bruyne at times is walking, Onana's walking, Wetzel's walking, barely getting on the ball, but we know that these types of players individually can cause problems. I think a lot of the times Eden Hazard is the focal point. They try and get the ball to him, but he's not being mobile enough, moving from left to right, I don't think. I think he's staying centre of the pitch, and Morocco are almost like not having to move for him to get away from them. So they're going to look to tire them out, but Morocco have been really good defensively. They look organised, they look like they're in formation, and look like they know exactly what they're doing when the ball goes to a Hazard.
Sure, you don't need Leanne and me to tell you that it's a warm day in Doha, but of course the air conditioning in the stadiums at pitch level cools things down. Because of the nature of this stadium, because of the huge canopies that overlook, there's not much natural sunlight that gets straight through to pitch level. So it's more the floodlights taking the effect than any direct sunlight. Ball's gone out of play on the far side for a Moroccan throw. Scores at 0-0, and we're approaching half-time on TalkSport. Keep you updated with the FA Cup Round 2 scores later this afternoon. The back underway in the game at Ebbsfleet. Oh, there's a Belgian player gone down. It's Onana, who was caught by Salim Amala. No booking for the Moroccan, but it will be a free kick for Belgium. They have it just over the halfway line. Onana receives it short from Castagna. Gives the ball back to Alderweireld. He has it once more, still inside his own half. Again, no press from Morocco whilst Belgium have it in their own half. Now they move 10 yards further forward, and then Onana, with a neat turn, gets half away from his defender. Ziyech tries to clear it downfield. It'll drop for Unahi. Early ball down the right-hand side. Brilliant control from Ziyech. He's trying to dummy his way past a couple of challenges, but he's taken the ball out of play. So it's a Belgian throw, and Ziyech hangs his head dejectedly, 0-0.
I think as well with Belgium, I think we're all waiting for them to finally click in. Because I think from the Canada game, first game always might be a little bit cagey. Obviously, Alphonso Davies missing that penalty as well. But what I see from Belgium, for a team that's looking to potentially last chance hurrah to win a tournament, they don't look like a team to me that is in that position. Do you know what this team reminds me of, Leanne?
England in 2010 in South Africa.
Yeah.
When we had those games against, Algeria.
When we couldn't win.
Yeah.
We would draw the game, they would tire us down. But I feel like, the better teams find a way. And Belgium have good individual players that you'd expect to be doing better. But the thing that concerns me is their lack of mobility in and around the middle of the pitch. And that's why I feel like Canada, against them, are getting joy, because they're dynamic, they're athletic, and they're pressing them. And my only worry is that they play against a better team, Belgium, and if they're not being mobile and they're not moving, they'll take it to them, because Morocco are not going to be the best team they're going to come up against.
Canada play Croatia later, live on TalkSport straight after this game that's approaching added time at the end of this first half. Belgium's free kick on halfway comes to nothing. Boufal hits a raking ball left to right to pick out Ziyech, who's got Castagna isolated down the right hand side of the box, tries to skip away from him and Thorgan Hazard, who fouls him right on the edge of the penalty area right hand side. And Morocco, as we go into added time, have a chance to whip the ball into the Belgian box here at 0-0.
Not sure what Thorgan Hazard is actually complaining about here, because it's a clear foul. Hakim Ziyech picks up a really good play, picks it up on the right hand side. Looks like Hakimi's about to take his free kick as well. But if I was Morocco, I'd be so delighted with how they've approached this game, because Belgium will definitely be frustrated during this game, because Morocco look fearless, they're attacking, and it's a really good position that Ziyech has picked up this free kick, because it's on the edge of the right hand side of the box. Really good. So if they get a good delivery in here, anything is possible. We could see Ziyech doing a similar thing to De Bruyne and going for goal from this position as well.
Amazingly, only 1 minute of minimum added time has been held up
Wow, that's a first during it's one of the first during this tournament.
But that minute of minimum stoppage time is almost up already, so you sense this could be the last action of the first half. The free kick is with Morocco at the right-hand corner of the Belgium penalty area. Ziyech standing over it. Left foot, he whips it into the near post. It's in! It's gone all the way through! Hakim Ziyech gives Morocco a shot lead right on half-time against the golden generation of Belgium, and his Group F about to be blown wide open at this World Cup. The Chelsea star nets, and he did exactly what De Bruyne tried to do at the other end, but he succeeded. Ziyech makes it Belgium 0, Morocco 1.
I said it, if he gets this shot and he does what De Bruyne did down the other end, he might go for it. I mean, I actually think he was trying to play his teammates in, and I'm surprised that Courtois has allowed the ball to go all the way through. I think Courtois maybe was blindsided, couldn't see, but it goes to show if you put a nice, strong, fast pace of the ball into this kind of areas, anything is possible. There may be potential offside. They might be checking.
They are checking for a potential offside. Saiss might have been the furthest player forward, and he might have been in Courtois' eye line.
That was my thought process, because Courtois looked like he was blindsided, and a goalkeeper like Courtois doesn't usually get beat in that way. Good ball into the box.
Nobody got a touch. Saiss almost ducked out of the way and collided with the post as the ball then went beyond Courtois and into the net. But VAR are taking a look, and it did seem to me that when Ziyech struck the ball, Saiss was slightly ahead of the Belgian back line.
He was definitely offside, but it's just an impact of how much vision is he blocking from Courtois. But I could think this might be ruled out. He's going over to the screen.
Yeah. So the goal is under review, and the referee from Mexico is going across to the referee review area to have a look for himself. Now, surely this should be not subjective, this should be objective. Was he offside when the ball was struck in? He's asking, I think the VAR is asking the Mexican referee whether he deems either that there was a touch or that there was the fact that the two Moroccan players got in the way of Courtois.
He was definitely offside.
He's had a look at the screen, comes back to the pitch, he's done the television screen, and he's cancelled the goal. Ziyech flicks his hand out in frustration. Disallowed goal. We are still at 0-0, and we must be right on half-time, as Ziyech is denied by two of his teammates being offside. And in fact, that is the last action, the last dramatic, controversial action of the first half of the Al Toumana Stadium. Belgium have had a scare, but offside and VAR have helped them out big time when Hakim Ziyech's free kick went into the net, but Moroccan defenders offside from when the ball was struck, and that means no goal. And the semi-automated offsides are showing us that it was indeed Aguer and Saiss. It's Saiss in particular who was offside as the ball was struck. But a half in which Belgium have created very little, much as with their first game against the Canadians. A lot of talking for Roberto Martinez to do. At half-time, it's all square in Doha. It is Belgium 0, Morocco 0.
Ian Danta, thank you. High drama right at the last here on World Cup Game Day Live on TalkSport. We thought Morocco had the lead. Probably value for it as well. Hakim Ziyech delivering with menace, driven low and hard. Courtois couldn't deal with it. But Leanne Sanderson, Saiss is offside, and VAR's taking a look. The referee taking a look on the monitor. It's just, okay, is he interfering with play? And you've got to say he is in the eye line of Courtois, isn't he?
Yeah, and the rules are the rules. As much as I might not like the fact that it's his arm, but he is in the eye line as well. It didn't touch him. I think they were probably checking that as well, but he was offside. I feel for Morocco because I think they've been really good. I think Belgium have been really underwhelming, haven't played well at all. I think I was expecting them to finally click into play tonight, and they haven't. You know, they don't look very good, Belgium, going forward. They look like they're very pedestrian, very slow in their build-up, and I feel for Morocco because you need a little bit of luck sometimes in football, and I feel like Morocco had it there at the end with Ziyech putting the ball on goal, and unfortunately it's been ruled out, but I think it is the correct decision with regards to the rules, because those are the rules.
4 Belgian-born players in the Moroccan squad. Huge Moroccan numbers in the stadium. What a noise being created this afternoon in Qatar. You can see the importance, the significance of this game to the Moroccan side. Boufal and Ziyech, the wide players, from minute one they've been high, and it is shown to us, Leanne, the mindset of Morocco. They feel they can get more than just a point from this game.
Yeah, and we've seen it during this competition as well. I think Hakimi's been really good in this game, apart from the one opportunity where he probably found himself in a position unfamiliar to him. I'd expected him to score, but he erratically kicked it over the bar. But I think they've shown, and I think if they would have gone in at half-time 1-0, they'd be happy. But also for it to still be 0-0.
Wouldn't they have deserved going in 1-0?
I think, yes and no, really. I don't think they've created a lot of chances. I just think they've been fearless in their attack. Belgium just haven't played well. So my only worry is that half-time Roberto Martinez does a team talk, and Belgium, I think they will make changes. I think Tielemans needs to come on. I'd expect to see Romelu Lukaku from around the 60th, 70th minute, and those are players that can definitely make a difference. But I think Axel Witsel, Onana, they've been really underwhelming. Even Eden Hazard, when he's got the ball, he's ran the ball out of play, and I'm a big fan of Hazard. When he was at Chelsea, I think people forget.
Yeah.
I know he's gone to Madrid, and he hasn't done that well, but he was a top player for Chelsea, one of the best in the world at that moment in time.
Leanne, he was having to field questions, Hazard, in the last few days from local Belgian journalists saying, you're looking a bit portly, aren't you, Eden? I mean, that's just telling us about the feeling around the Belgium camp, about some of their key players at this moment in time. Plenty of the ball, but a serious lack of timber. Picking up on what you and Dan said during that first half, Belgium moving the ball almost at walking pace. They are labouring again, aren't they? Just like they did in their opening group stage game.
Yeah, it's quite strange, really, because we just expect them to be more mobile in their attack. But I don't feel like they're clicking into place. I really don't. And even Kevin De Bruyne, who's one of my favourite players in the world to watch, he doesn't look, the same as he does at Manchester City. And these are the types of tournaments where we want those types of players. So I'm always saying I think he's one of the best in the world. He's way up there. And this is when we need him to click in and start performing in that way. And I've seen in both the games, he's doing things that he wouldn't usually do. Every player gives away the ball, but Kevin De Bruyne just doesn't look like he's as mobile and flexible as he is at Manchester City. What does that say, really? It's not always to do with that. It's to do sometimes with the managers and how they set them up.
I'm always a little more portly at this time of year. Leanne Sanderson, thank you very much. Back with Ian Danter and Leanne, the former England striker, shortly here on Talk Sport. Right, let's get the latest odds from this game with William Hill.
In the Zone on Talk Sport with William Hill. Get epic value or tournament with William Hill. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Tight. Nothing between the sides at this moment in time. Morocco could have been in front. You can get a Morocco win at 19-5 with William Hill. Draw 6-4. Belgium to improve levels to get in front to win this game this afternoon. You can get at 23-20. Hakim Ziyech, we thought he'd scored. To score any time in this game was 8-1. You can get right now with William Hill 9-1. That was thanks to William Hill. Get epic odds with William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. begambleaware.org.
In the Zone on Talk Sport with William Hill. Get epic value or tournament with William Hill. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Back shortly ahead of the second half between Belgium and Morocco. World Cup Game Day live here on Talk Sport.
World Cup Game Day live on Talk Sport. Presented by Double from Asmodee UK. When the game stops, keep on playing Double. Available at all good retailers.
At William Hill, we get the value of the World Cup.
Best chance in 66.
The value of the players.
They've got some decent strikers.
The value of the draw.
Wales, England, unbelievable.
The value of your bet.
Wow, that's great odds.
That's why during the World Cup, William Hill is giving you more epic value. Get behind your team with William Hill's Epic Odds. Our biggest value offers of the tournament. Now that's epic value. All tournament. It's who you play with. William Hill.
Online and in shop for Plus card holders only. Max £10 stake. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Well, here we go. Let's go out there and show them what we're capable of.
Yes, boss.
And remember, always work as a team.
Yes, boss.
And above all, remember our secret weapon. U-Power safety shoes. Comfortable, light, but at the same time strong and resistant. That way we'll have finished all our work by tonight, but still feel rested. Let's get to work, guys, with U-Power. U-Power, my choice. Find your closest dealer on our website, u-power.it/EN.
John, I need those numbers on my desk by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And I need you to work this weekend as well.
No problem.
Oh, that sandwich looks good.
Go on, have it! Yes! Goal!
TheSun.co.uk are live blogging every single game of the World Cup, so you'll never miss a moment. Just be careful. It's TheSun.co.uk time.
At Asda, score yourself a great meal deal for the footy. Pick 2 mains, 2 sides and a drink, all for just £10. There's something for everyone, from pizzas to pasta bakes, fries to cheesy dough balls, plus your choice of beer or soft drink. For fans of great value, it's game on. Selected Asda stores and lines, subject to availability. Mains £4 each, sides and drinks £3, drink aware.
Well, this is an interesting lineup. He goes in with a chicken McNugget, a cheeky pass on the barbecue dip, nice move there, and sour cream's left open on the edge of the box. And there they come with a chicken select. Oh, what a performance!
Fancy a McDelivery? Come together this FIFA World Cup with the new McDelivery chicken combo. 20 chicken McNuggets, 10 chicken selects, 8 dips, all for just $15.99. Exclusively for McDelivery. Until the 18th of December from 11 a.m. Participating restaurants only. Price may vary. Delivery fees apply. 18 plus. Subject to availability.
Join the footy frenzy with Magnet Trade's unmissable football deals. Spend £3,000 on a kitchen and score a Beko dishwasher for just 99 quid and a Beko multifunction fan oven for just $199. Plus, we got winning deals on CLS, multi-finish, plasterboard and chipboard flooring. Grab them while you can at Magnet Trade. Beko deal requires a qualifying kitchen quote before December 23rd and delivery by February 28th. Quotes valid for 60 days. T's and C's at magnettrade.co.uk.
Yeti was having a bad fur day. Again. Poor love. So when he heard there was up to 40% off in the Amazon Black Friday week, he treated himself to a volumizing hairdryer. So he could be furry and fabulous. Looking fly, hairy guy. Get up to 40% off in the Amazon Black Friday week. Ends 28th of November.
World Cup Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling. Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
TalkSport.
Every minute of the football from the desert on 1089 and 1053 medium wave and on your smart speaker thingy. World Cup Game Day live with Dan Windle. TalkSport.
Wall to wall from Qatar. Tomorrow, 4 more commentaries for your enjoyment from the World Cup. Starting TalkSport 2, 10 o'clock, Cameroon, Serbia tomorrow. 1 o'clock here on TalkSport, South Korea, Ghana. This is action from Group G and H. From 4 o'clock, Brazil go at it again. They take on Switzerland. Adrian Durham, your host for that one. 7 o'clock, Portugal clash with Uruguay in World Cup Group H. Still to come also today here on TalkSport from 4, Croatia, Canada. Action also from Group F and from Group E from 7 o'clock. Seismic already. Spain taking on Germany. 7 o'clock TalkSport. You don't want to miss that with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and the former England defender Stuart Pearce. Right, let's take a look at the halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling.
Halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
At the Al Thumama Stadium, 0-0 between Belgium and Morocco. Here's how it sounded on TalkSport.
Ball out to the near side, and Buffy's just got him behind for a moment, up to the edge of the area. Sofiane Boufal looking for an option, clips it to the far post. Ziyech heads it down, and a volley over the top. Even Hazard plays it infield to De Bruyne. Can spot Meunier, right-hand corner of the area. First time ball into the near post, but it's well claimed by Mohamedi. The ball's gone wide right to Hakimi, who tries to strike it goals, and Ziyech gets right underneath it in the end, and it's over the bar. Ziyech standing over it, left footed, whips it into the near post. It's in! It's gone all the way through! Hakim Ziyech gives Morocco a shot lead right on half-time against the golden generation of Belgium. VAR are taking a look, and it did seem to me that when Ziyech struck the ball, Saiss was slightly ahead of the Belgian back line. On the television screen, and he's cancelled the goal. Ziyech flicks his hand out in frustration. Disallowed goal. We are still at 0-0, and we must be right on half-time.
Lively at the last. That was a look at the halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Just under 20 minutes to go in the FA Cup second round. National League South side Ebbsfleet behind against League One outfit Fleetwood Town by 1-0. As I said, about 20 minutes plus added on time to go in that action. Our reporters out and about keeping you across the 4 other games taking place in the FA Cup second round this afternoon. Let's get back to Ian Danter and the former England striker Leanne Sanson, our commentary team in place ahead of the second half between Belgium and Morocco. I'll say it again, guys, I can't believe how off it Belgium look. Romelu Lukaku on the bench for Roberto Martinez. I understand is that their caution-first approach with him so far in Qatar due to recent injuries, his lack of football in recent months. But Leanne, they need him now, don't they? They are a mile off it.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable. I said it in the beginning of the first half that it felt like probably they'll bring Lukaku on in around the 60th, 70th minute. Some managers look to do that. I think they need him on sooner rather than later, but I don't even think it's just in the forward areas. I feel like, Tielemans needs to come into the game as well. I feel like he's a player that they've missed today. I'm not quite sure why they put him on the bench today, because that was never going to work in my opinion. I think other players seem to play better when certain players are around them, and I feel like Tielemans and Kevin De Bruyne have a good connection in that area, and I've been really, really underwhelmed by Belgium. I think, again though, give credit to Morocco, because they've been good. Hakimi, Ziyech, I feel like they've gone Boufal, have been good, but I just feel like Belgium just look really pedestrian, and they're not, at times they are walking. We said it in the commentary, but that's the best way of putting it, because Alderweireld and Vertonghen are picking up the ball, and like Hazard's trying to move around in the final third areas, but it's almost like there's not really any plan. It's not clicking. It just isn't.
Dan's coming on this as well. Gareth Southgate is accused, the England boss, of being reactive rather than proactive with his decisions. Roberto Martinez has an opportunity here to have an influence on this game with the quality off his bench. Why would he not consider making changes now to try and influence the game, to change the game after that first half performance against Morocco?
Well, we can see that Romelu Lukaku has been warming up for the last 4 or 5 minutes on the pitch at Al Tamama, so there is every possibility that if he's not considering it right from the off, he may be giving his players 5 or 10 minutes and then may make a change. He might even play Lukaku along with Batshuayi. Remains to be seen whether he's willing to change formation. But yes, I hear that, Dan, about Martinez, in the same way that Southgate is criticised for being overly cautious. There's a number of managers at this World Cup that seem to be going into this tournament with that label being thrown.
But Lukaku's also not fit though. He's not match fit, so maybe they didn't expect to have to bring...
Surely you're fit enough to play 45 minutes here.
No, not always the way, because you have to monitor the players, hence the fact that when Harry Kane has an injury, Tottenham throw him straight back in there straight away. That's not how other teams seem to operate. So I agree with you to a certain degree, but I don't think they expected to have to bring on, Romelu Lukaku in a game like this to try and save the day. I think they expect to be winning these games so that they can bring him on and give him minimal minutes, not bring him on to be a game changer and save the day in games like this. And if they can't really seem to beat, Morocco convincingly, they didn't beat Canada convincingly, a win's a win. And Morocco, fair play to them, they've taken the game to them.
Will we get goals second half? Which way will the deadlock be broken? Both sides back out. Morocco, huge number of supporters following them out in Doha, in Qatar. Will they get rewards second half here on TalkSport? Let's find out with Leanne Sanson alongside Ian Danter.
Thank you, Dan. No changes from either manager at the break, and Morocco will get us underway wearing their all-white strip with little flecks of green and red around the sleeves. Belgium in their red, black and yellow shirts, black shorts and socks, and the second half is underway on TalkSport at the World Cup in Group F, and the other game in this group follows straight on from this. We'll be off to Croatia versus Canada. Nigel Adley and Dean Saunders will be your commentary team for that. They'll keep you bang up to date with the second half of the FA Cup ties that have just got underway, with the likes of Bristol Rovers against Boreham Wood and Burton against Chippenham Town. Ball's back with Thibaut Courtois, running through the lineups in just a moment. And the ball's brought forward by Belgium, looking to release Torgan Hazard down the left-hand side. He'll chase after it, but will give it up as the ball goes over the dead ball line. So Belgium, Courtois in goal. It is Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Castagna in a back three. Meunier, Onana, Witsel, Hazard. That's Torgan Hazard in midfield. De Bruyne, Eden Hazard and Batshuayi up front. For Morocco, Bounou was not in goal. It's Munir Mohammadi who came in after the national anthems to actually take his place in goal. Then Hakimi, Aguerd, Saiss and Mazraoui in a back four. Amala, Amrabat and Unahi in midfield. Ziyech, El Naziri and Boufal, the front three for the Atlas Lions. And it is Roman Saiss, once of Wolves, now plays his football in Turkey with Besiktas. It's a long ball looking for the tall El Naziri up front. But Belgium win the ball back. Saiss lobs it back into Belgian territory. Skips back into the Moroccan half, but it'll be tidied up and sent back to Mohammadi. Right-footed clearance up to halfway. Witsel wins the header up against Amala and then guides it back into his own half for Castagna. Early ball into the feet of Onana, trying to inject him into pace, and Torgan Hazard gamely giving chase, but again Mohammadi comes out to the edge of his area, puts his right foot through it, and it lands midway point of the Belgian half. Bit scrappy at the start of this second period, Leanne Sanderson.
Yeah, we've seen Castagna pick up the ball down his left-hand side, and clearly that's been something that's come from the manager to maybe to capitalise down this side, because, you know, we've seen Torgan Hazard now get in that situation. Castagna just gave away the ball when he tried to play him down the left-hand side, but you can see that's something they're going to look to do in this second half. But I just think there needs to be a little bit more quality, you know, all over the pitch from Belgium. I feel like they're more reactive than proactive. They're waiting for something to happen. Hazard gets on the ball, then he turns and tries to play somebody else. But I do think it will be a matter of time before Lukaku comes on. I really do, and I think he will make a difference. He'll stretch the pitch, he'll get on the ball, maybe inject that little bit of urgency within the team.
Quickly taken free kick by Ziyech, too quickly taken for the rest of his teammates. It was easily smuggled away from danger by the Belgian backline. Batshuayi holds it up on the halfway line, lays it off to his captain Eden Hazard. Witsel to his right as he gets to the centre spot and then clips it to the right. And a poor touch from Meunier. And then, did he foul his man? Well, there's claims that he did, but the referee says play on. Witsel will bring the ball up to halfway for Belgium. Just to his left is Kevin De Bruyne, who reluctantly accepted the Man of the Match award against Canada. He felt he was nowhere near deserving of it. Classic De Bruyne self-deprecation mode.
But that's an example of what we were talking about from Meunier there. Completely unforced error, 5-yard pass, can't complete the pass.
And like, an unforced error from Onana there as well.
Yeah.
And then just to complete the set, Aguerd just passes the ball straight out of play to his manager. So throw to Belgium, 0-0.
Yeah, the quality just hasn't been there from Belgium. It really hasn't at all. And I think when Ziyech got that free kick there on the right-hand side, he took it too quickly, and it was almost like a waste in the end, because I feel like when Morocco are getting set pieces, they need to try and make the most of them instead of waste them in that situation. So again, we've been speaking about it a lot. Belgium just haven't been good. Their quality hasn't been there, and it's really a shame to see, because I think we're all expecting Belgium to be far better than they are.
Nearly 5 minutes gone in the second half. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. Morocco trying to get El Naziri going down the inside right channel. Gets to the right-hand corner of the box, not got much support, so he cuts in field, fires it across to Unahi. Now it's picked up by Ziyech, looking to wriggle away from Witsel at the edge of the area. Wraps his left foot round it, but the shot is straight at Courtois, who gobbles it up gratefully into his chest. It stays 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, good effort. I'd expect Courtois to pick that up in the end. There wasn't much pace on the strike from Ziyech, but I just feel like Morocco, the more the game goes on, they're more grown into confidence. It's almost like they can sense something in this game is there for them, and fair play to them, really have. But Belgium, a lot of mistakes.
De Bruyne tries to pass it through to Batshuayi, but the ball just bobbles off the end of his toe, bounces through to Mohammadi, and he will bowl it out straight away. And it's clipped out by Amala to this near side, looking for Ziyech. Good header back in field by Castagna, and then Witsel tidies up and sends the ball back to Courtois.
Belgium need an injection of something, an injection of pace. You know, Eden Hazard, I think he's been really poor over both games. You know, I'm a big fan of his, but we have to critique the game as we see it, and I feel like he's getting on the ball, he's slowing down the game, he's checking back towards his own goal. He's not really done anything in this game, and I feel like when Batshuayi are making runs, he's not really seeing them. But I feel like Lukaku and Tielemans, for me, have to be a matter of time before they come into this game.
Batshuayi leaves it for Eden Hazard as Belgium move into the Moroccan half. 4 forward in this attack. Hazard skips away from one challenge, tries to drive into the near post, but it's pushed behind by Mohammadi for a Belgian corner. Their 7th of the game, 0-0.
That's more like it from Eden Hazard. I mean, that's the type of ability that he has to go past players like they're not even there. Batshuayi tried to get a block on that as well, and in the end it's a really good save from the goalkeeper. But that's the type of stuff we know Eden Hazard could do. Drop the shoulder, get the shot off. They need to be more, and I just feel like they've not really had the ball in the final third. We've not really seen any intricate passes around the 18-yard box or that type of stuff, and they need to be more direct, Belgium.
But as I say, we've seen the number of corners. This is corner number 7 from the right-hand side. Thorgan Hazard has been striking all of them so far. Is standing over this one. It's in front of the Belgian fans. This Belgium attack from right to left. Here's the corner. Onana with a header, sails over the crossbar. Again, much as with the header he had in the first half, Leanne Sanderson just couldn't get over the top of it. Goal kick, Morocco 0-0.
Yeah, and he's already in that position, Onana, when he's about to head the ball. It's almost like he's not running onto the ball just hits him, and you could see, Jan Vertonghen was almost looking at him as if to say that should have been on my head, but they were both in the same spot. So they just need to communicate a little bit. But in the first half, same thing, it's almost like he jumped too early on that one. It was a decent ball from Hazard, but he just looks like the ball hits him rather than him attacking the ball and putting it in the back of the net.
0-0 on TalkSport at the World Cup in Group F. Ian Dancer and Leanne Sanderson with you. We played nearly 8 minutes of this second half. Amrabat gets over halfway for Morocco. Ziyech to his right, El Naziri going through the middle. He's flicked it out wide to Ziyech. Was he pushed over by Witsel? Nothing doing, says the referee. He says play on, and Belgium bring it away. Onana just ahead of his own 18-yard line. Lovely ball down the right-hand side to get Meunier away. Ball into the box, comes off the back of a Moroccan defender, and the African side can tidy up and clear it away. 0-0 it stays.
Poor ball in the end from Meunier. I don't think it was a good break from Belgium, and that's exactly what they need to do. But Meunier just needs to make better options in those situations and decisions.
Well, he played the most wonderful ball to help win the game for Belgium against Japan in the round of 16 4 years ago, when Belgium won it with the last kick of the game against the Samurai Blue. Japan have lost today as well. Japan have against Costa Rica. You heard it on TalkSport 2 around lunchtime. Amazing, given Costa Rica's humbling at the hands of Spain. 1-0 the final score in that game. And Spain take on Germany tonight. That's on TalkSport. 7 o'clock kickoff. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce will be your commentary team for that one. A real humdinger. And Croatia should be more than decent before that as well, with Nigel Adderley and Dean Saunders. Morocco have the ball in their own half of the field. Played nearly 10 minutes of the second half. Still scoreless. Remember, Morocco had the ball in the net right on half-time when Ziyech's free kick went all the way through, but Saiss offside, as the VAR semi-automated offsides made the call. Aguerd of West Ham plays the ball back to Amrabat. Just takes the touch to get away from De Bruyne for a moment. Quite patient from Morocco at this point, quite happy to keep possession. Now they're trying to speed it up a little. Boufal, he's got Mazraoui on the outside of him, feeds it to the Bayern Munich left back, tees it back up to Soufal, left-hand corner of the box. Good challenge by Onana, but it's picked up by Unahi down the left-hand side for Morocco. Mazraoui still there. Clips the ball into the centre of midfield. Hakimi trying to help it onto Ziyech, but Belgium win it back. Hurriedly clear it downfield. Will it stick with Batshuayi? Well, he gets a good chest on it to find his captain Eden Hazard, but then a great footing from Hakimi, wins it back, but then Amrabat runs into trouble and Belgium work it back to their goalkeeper. Really fizzed back by Witsel de Courtois, but he controlled it well. 0-0.
Yeah, Ziyech had a lot of space down this right-hand side. He was waiting out there for a long time, and the ball never found its way to him. And I feel like if they can try to find him a little bit sooner, they'll get a lot of joy, because Thorgan Hazard was having to come back and defend him in that situation. And we just saw there another unforced error from Belgium on the attack, kicking the ball out of play. They're trying to create triangles all over the pitch. I think in the last 10 minutes we've seen a couple of situations where Kevin De Bruyne has finally got on the ball, Eden Hazard in that central area, so hopefully we'll start to see them kick on. But Morocco, fair play to them, fearless. They've been good when they've got the ball. They're possessing the ball now. I feel like since in the first half they wasn't really as composed as this. I feel like in the first half they were giving away the ball, but Morocco are finding space in good areas now.
And they've got the massed ranks of the Moroccan support behind them in the Al Tumana Stadium. Lovely ball from Ziyech, floated out to Boufal, right to left, brings it down in his chest, runs at Meunier, gets inside him, and the shot goes just wide, hit it across Courtois. Boufal so close to giving Morocco the lead from open play, wrapped his right foot round it, just didn't creep inside the far post with Courtois beaten. Goal kick, 0-0.
Fantastic ball from Hakim Ziyech to get the ball out to Boufal there, absolutely brilliant. And I think Courtois looked like he had it covered, but certainly as it was going past him, he was looking to make sure that wasn't going to go in. Really good play from Boufal, cuts in on his right foot and tries to bend it in the bottom corner. Really good play from Morocco.
0-0 here, also 0-0 in the two FA Cup ties that we have reporters at Bristol Rovers and Burton. Coming up to full time at non-league Ebbsfleet, who was still trailing by a goal to nil to Gerard Garner's goal for Fleetwood Town. Here in Doha, it's Morocco coming forward again. El Naziri goes down, not really under any pressure, he just lost his balance as he was trying to spin inside the box to get hold of the loose ball, so there was no real claim for a penalty at any point. And Axel Witsel strides away down the right hand side for Belgium, plays the ball in field to Batshuayi, has the ball taken off his toe by Saïs. Great challenge. El Naziri making a run through the middle, the ball's found him, chest it down, in fact he almost chinned it down, and that allowed Vertonghen just to get in front of him and allowed Courtois to get hold of it. Great long field pass again, almost catching Belgium out at the back. 0-0.
Yeah, and the Naziri there looked on, he was on the back shoulder of Vertonghen and almost got in, it hit him in the face. It looked like it could have potentially been offside, but the penalty shout, half-hearted, I don't think that was a penalty at all. So, and obviously I can understand now why the players appeal for it. You can see why. I mean, they've got VAR, so why not?
Dries Mertens going to be on in a minute for Belgium, another man with well over 100 caps. This will be cap 108. I think Yuri Tielemans is being readied as well, Leanne, down beneath us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes sense. You know, they need some kind of injection of pace in those areas, and I'm not talking about directness with pace, I'm talking about picking up the ball, being able to thread those balls through. We've seen this year Yuri Tielemans can also get some unbelievable goals as well. So we talk about not many players in this tournament are striking from distance. He's some player that can do that. So I think these substitutions make sense, and maybe if it still stays 0-0, that's when we'll see Romelu Lukaku. I mean, like we were saying before, Dan was saying, if a player is able to be in the squad or on the bench, can't they play 45 minutes? It doesn't work like that. I'm not sure they expected to have to call upon a player like Lukaku in a game like this, because they'd have expected him to have got some minutes maybe later on in the competition. But if they keep playing this way, they might not find themselves in the later stages of the competition.
0-0 on TalkSport in Group F, approaching the hour. Ian Danter and Leanne Sanderson with you. So Mertens and Tielemans will be on very shortly for Roberto Martinez, who's just giving the Leicester City midfielder a couple of last second instructions before the change is made. Meantime, Morocco bringing it forward on halfway with Hakim Ziyech, looking to outpace Onana. Good work from Onana, got in front of him and then was fouled by Ziyech. Clear foul. And there's a goal at the Mem in the FA Cup. Which way's it gone? Ian Abrahams.
Bournemouth 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Bournemouth 0. George Broadbent's fired the ball home from a Zach Brunt short corner. So it looks like Bournemouth are at it again. It's Bristol Rovers 0, Bournemouth 1.
So the substitution is being made. Eden Hazard is coming off, and so too is Onana for Mertens and Tielemans to come on for Belgium. What to make of that, Leanne Sanderson?
I think it makes sense, and I like that type of substitution for Roberto Martinez. I feel like sometimes when one player is a focal point, managers are reluctant to take them off. We've seen that happens with England as well, with Harry Kane, and I feel like no player, you want to keep your best players on the pitch, but Eden Hazard, he hasn't been good at all. He hasn't looked good. He's been slowing down play. There was only a couple of times he got on the half turn and got going, but I think that makes sense. I was calling for Tielemans. I think Tielemans should have started this game anyway. I'm not quite sure why he didn't. And
Courtois forced to clear the ball downfield again. El Naziri was right on top of him as he cleared the ball out. So those two players who were just on, Mertens and Tielemans, have got half an hour to do something about this scoreline. Morocco are going to be heading on to 2 points as things stand. Belgium on to 4. Morocco in possession, just ahead of the centre circle with Amrabat. Good ball to pick out Unahi up to the edge of the area. Amala lays it off A slightly weak drive from Mazraoui on his weaker right foot. Went well wide of Courtois' right-hand post. It's a goal kick to Belgium, 0-0 the score.
Opened up for Mazraoui there, but didn't quite get hold of the ball. Ended up p-rolling, hit his other foot as he hit it as well. But again, Roberto Martinez has called on the substitutions, trying to make things change, trying to tactically make some decisions. I feel like they were the right ones. I think Eden Hazard's been really, really poor in this game. But one thing I will say, I think Belgium have looked quite flat in most areas. Kevin De Bruyne has probably given away the ball more in this game than I've seen him all season for Manchester City. And he just doesn't look at it when he's playing for Belgium in this game either. So something's happened.
Does that mean the sponsors will probably give him man of the match again?
Yeah, but he's an honest player. He knew himself. He has high standards. He's one of the best in the world.
I love watching him.
We all do, don't we? Yeah. And I feel like people sometimes, he knows he wasn't the best player on the pitch, but it happens, doesn't it?
But as you were saying, he's playing a very different role for his country than he does for his club.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the calibre of players and the quality, for me, obviously Manchester City are one of the best teams in the world, but I just think they're more stationary in their attack when it comes to Belgium compared to Manchester City, because Manchester City, they're always moving off the ball. We see it with Phil Foden. Phil Foden didn't even come into the game the other day. How, I don't know, but those types of players sometimes play differently in different systems.
Well, here is De Bruyne on halfway for Belgium. Attempted ball turned around the corner by the Hazard, who's still out there, Torgan Hazard. De Bruyne again, up to Mertens at the edge of the area. Brilliant footing by Hakimi, but the flag had gone up for offside anyway. But Hakimi wasn't to know that, and some terrific defending to stop the ball getting through to Dries Mertens. Stays 0-0 on TalkSport. Over an hour gone now.
It was actually Batshuayi that was offside, and in that situation I hate it when centre forwards are offside when they're looking along the line. Like, he wasn't making a run in behind, he was checking to feet, and he was being lazy because he didn't drop in, and he didn't need to be offside. But that was the first time we've seen Mertens down his left hand side. Kevin De Bruyne had a little glance, little disguised pass, and he almost made it through. So positive so far from the substitutions that have come on.
Amrabat of Fiorentina plays the ball out to the left hand side. Mazraoui and Boufal now up to the left hand corner of the box, faced up by Tielemans. Oh, lovely quick feet from Boufal, crossed over the head of El Naziri and out to the far side, but Morocco will keep hold of it. It's with Hakim Ziyech, who's now trying to bamboozle Torgan Hazard on this near side. Hakimi with a deep cross to the far post. Boufal keeps it alive, almost fell in front of goal for El Naziri. Still Morocco have it around the Belgian box. Hurried clearance by Hazard and headed out of play by Batshuayi. Morocco are increasing in confidence here. It's still 0-0, but there's belief in the African side here.
Absolutely, that was incredible skill from Boufal down his left-hand side. He went past two players, Tielemans being one of them, like they wasn't even there, and then the ball they kept playing. Morocco can sense something here. Belgium are there for the taking, and you can see it's almost like they're so fearless in their attack and their approach. And Hakim Ziyech down his right-hand side, he's got a lot of flair, he's getting on the ball. They're looking really composed, more composed, Morocco, as the game's going on.
Amrabat just tried to find Boufal again with the ball down the left-hand side, but it smacked against his teammate Unahi and through to Courtois. I mentioned that goal that Boufal scored against West Brom in the Premier League some years ago. What a run and what a goal. It was lovely skill in that sort of level. But here come Belgium at 0-0. De Bruyne runs into Aguerd at the edge of the area, and again Morocco are just winning that ball, snaffling it back into their control. But they do give it up cheaply here as Witsel now wins it back. Finds Hazard, rolls it across to Dries Mertens, wriggling his way through, shot on goal, brilliantly beaten away by Mohammadi and put out for a throw. Dries Mertens let fly, but the goalkeeper equal to it, 0-0.
That all came from Yuri Tielemans. Fantastic tackle in the middle of the pitch. Mertens, he took the shot off and he almost was going to get the rebound as well. But again, Kevin De Bruyne before that, he's holding on to the ball and he's not giving it. The players are making the run. It's quite strange, and we can see, Lukaku and De Bruyne are having a conversation down there now, but I feel like De Bruyne is holding on to the ball for too long. But Mertens come into the game, instant impact, nearly scored.
25 minutes to go on TalkSport in the World Cup Group F. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. And Croatia, Canada follows this game on TalkSport. The 4 o'clock kickoff. Nigel Adley and Dean Saunders will be your team for that one. And then Spain, Germany tonight at 7 o'clock. Don't miss that on TalkSport either. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce. Now here is Hazard down the left hand side of the Moroccan penalty area. They're trying to get it clear the Atlas Lions. But it's Meunier picks it up now down the right-hand side, gets to the byline, flicked back by Mertens. Batshuayi trying to twist and turn with his bat to goal, gets the shot away, deflected up in the air but claimed by the goalkeeper, and the flag has gone up anyway. More frustration for Belgium. It stays 0-0 as Batshuayi's shot deflected up in the air from Mazraoui and straight through to the goalkeeper. 0-0 the score. Oh, and a goal at the Pirelli Stadium in the FA Cup. TalkSport's Jeff Peters.
It's Burton Albion 1, Chippenham Town 0. Johnny Smith has scored it back from injury. The winger onto his right foot just inside the penalty area, and the League One side are ahead. Burton 1, Chippenham 0.
Thank you, Jeff. Double change being ready by Morocco now. And Abdelhamid Sabiri is going to be brought on, the Sampdoria midfielder for Morocco. And also Yahia Atiyat Allah. And the players coming off are one of the Belgian-born players in the squad, Amala, and Ashraf Hakimi, who's coming off as well, the Paris Saint-Germain star. So interesting changes there for Morocco. So Sabiri on in midfield, and Allah on right back in place of Ashraf Hakimi. Interesting selections, Leanne Sanderson.
Yeah, definitely. Hakimi's run himself.
He must have carried an injury or something, I don't know.
Yeah, he seems okay in coming off, because I'm surprised that's one that I wouldn't have expected. I feel like he's a player that, you know, what you see is what you get. He works hard, and he brings his teammates alive, and those types of players, I'm surprised he's gone off, because they're still long enough in this game. But maybe he needs a rest. Maybe, you know, he's had Belgium coming at him the whole game, and Hakimi and Bouffal's been fantastic, I think, as well.
Whistle's gone, and Belgium cannot bring the ball forward. And Sabiri was a German international. He's only switched his allegiance to Morocco in March, did Abdelhamid Sabiri rather. Played for Huddersfield. Any Huddersfield fans listening might remember he was briefly with the club when they won promotion under David Wagner 2017-2018. I think blinking he'd have missed it. He's on anyway down the left hand side. Yahya Atiyah Allah also down that left hand side. Ball's played in field. Unahi's going to have a go. Whoa, that's way over the bar. That was like a Aussie rules football conversion, and it goes over the top for a Belgian goal kick. 0-0 the score on TalkSport, and we've got just over 20 minutes to go. Here's Leanne Sanderson.
He opened up for Unahi there, but Hakim Ziyech would have probably been the better option on the right hand side, play it out there. But I think it's good that the players are taking it upon themselves to try and, you know, score. They're not sitting back, Morocco. They're really taking the game to them. I think Mertens, since he's come on, has looked like a bright spark, and the ball that he played across to Batshuayi, I actually felt like Batshuayi could have maybe swept it in on a one touch instead of taking one touch, two touch, and then the opportunity went away. But Dres Martins, I think, has been a good substitute so far. Tielemans is getting in amongst it, putting in tackles, settling the game down. But I just think they need that little bit more, Belgium. They need that little bit more injection of pace, you know, in the final third. Batshuayi is good, but he's always checking towards the ball. He's not really making runs in behind. And even when the players do make runs in behind, Hazard made a couple in the first half, Belgium are not looking to turn them. Sometimes you've got to turn the teams, you know, create the space, play them in behind, and anything can happen, because this whole going from side to side for Belgium and being patient isn't working.
Leanne's absolutely right. Everything's in front of that Moroccan back four, and they keep a pretty decent line most of the time from right to left, the African side. So it remains 0-0. 20 minutes to go on TalkSport in Group F. What have Belgium got left? Here's Castagna out to this near side, and Torgan Hazard. De Bruyne now making a run down the left hand side, hits it against Aguerd. It goes out for a throw, which he takes quickly. Ball headed down by Tielemans, but couldn't guide it anywhere near Batshuayi, and it just goes harmlessly behind from the Morocco point of view for a goal kick, as time ticks away still further for Martinez and co. And I wonder how long before Lukaku is risked, Leanne Sanderson.
Yeah, it looked like they were warming up pretty vigorously at half time, Carrasco and Lukaku, but I just don't think Roberto Martinez expected to have to call upon Lukaku to potentially try and win this game. I don't think they're taking teams, easily, but I think that they expected to be winning this game pretty easily.
Now De Bruyne in space, 30 yards out, tries to slide it into Batshuayi. What a challenge from Aguirre. Just slid in and stopped the ball getting through to Batshuayi. Mazraoui now playing right back since Hakimi's gone off. Touches it infield. Unahi up to halfway. Lovely skill from Boufal. And Allah's away down the left-hand side. And he's got Meunier with him, goes out to the corner flag. Oh, Meunier trips him. Got to be a free kick to Morocco. And a chance to swing the ball into the box. As Atia Allah get away from Meunier, and he clearly knocked him over. Free kick, and they are readying a substitution. Zakaria Aboukal of Toulouse is being readied. I think also we're going to see Hamdallah, a goal at the Mem in the FA Cup. TalkSport Ian Abrahams.
They're at it again. Bristol Rovers 0, Boreham Wood 2. Dave Stevens, the veteran, up from the back to convert and head home after Boreham Wood pressure. It's Bristol Rovers 0, Boreham Wood 2.
Thank you, Ian. The shock is on. Remember Bournemouth last year? Wow. They're at it again, as he said. So Boufal and El Naziri, two of the front three for Morocco, are going off here. And El Naziri taking his time over coming off as well. So Abdurazak Hamdallah of the Al Ittihad club is coming on, wearing number 9. And the other change, well, that sees Zakaria Aboukal. He plays for Toulouse in France. Dutch-born, switched his allegiance only a couple of years ago, and he's on for these last few minutes. And first thing, it's a free kick. Shots into the near post. Oh, it's in! I don't believe it! What a moment for Morocco! Abdelhamid Sabiri whipped in a right-footed free kick from near the corner flag, and Courtois was caught out again, but I don't think this time he's going to be saved by VAR or offside. Morocco have the lead. Martinez looks fraught with tension. Courtois can't believe it. Belgium are behind to the Moroccans with just over a quarter of an hour to go. Abdelhamid Sabiri makes it Belgium 0, Morocco 1. What a shock.
Great play from Sabiri, and I feel like Morocco have sensed something, because they've done a couple of times where they've hit a quick free kick or a corner and they sense something there, and they're right to do that. I mean, this one, for me, Courtois has to be doing better. Taking nothing away from Sabiri, but that is like the most acute angle, and he was almost, putting it in there. Saiz was in there as well. Block the goalkeeper. That's obviously a tactic that they're looking to do, but it goes all the way in from Sabiri, and again, Courtois.
Very, very, very acute angle. It was almost at the dead ball line. Only his second international goal in his 4th appearance. I mentioned earlier that he'd only switched his allegiance earlier this year, and that goal signals a double change for Belgium. But it's not Lukaku, it's Brighton's Leandro Trossard and Charles de Ketelaere of AC Milan being brought on. So Batshuayi and the other Hazard have gone off, so Torgan and Eden both withdrawn, and it's another gamble, but not Lukaku from Roberto Martinez. 1-0 Morocco. The shock's on TalkSport in the World Cup. Away comes Ziyech down the right hand side. There's a neat ball in field. There's a man spare on the far side if they can find him. It was Aboukal, but Belgium win it back and have it inside their own half. Ziyech just trying to put Castagna under pressure. It's out on the left hand side with Trossard. He'll pick it up again. Had such an excellent season so far for Brighton. He's scurrying down this near touchline for the Belgians. Whips across him. That would have been great for Lukaku had he been on the pitch, but no one there. Batshuayi off now, remember. De Ketelaere is the central striker. He's only making his 11th appearance for his country. What a moment for him to be thrown into the mix.
Absolutely, and we've seen during his tournament so far, Sabiri coming on, scoring that goal. But for me, Lukaku can't be ready. I said it before, because if you're in a game like this when it's 0-0, you bring him on. You know, if you're losing the game, you bring him on. You don't not bring him on into this game. So for me, they were warming him up at half time. He was the only player out there at half time warming up, quite like he was going to be coming on. Not a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And for him to have not come on into this game doesn't make sense to me. So they clearly don't think he's ready to come on, because if you need to win the game, or at this point, this could be a massive shock. If Morocco are able to hold on, and fair play to them, they've been absolutely brilliant, and Belgium have been poor.
8th corner of the game for Belgium. They're a goal down, 14 to go. Mertens swings it in, headed up in the air. I think it was Saiss that got there first. Chested down, back to this near side, the left to Dries Mertens. Back to Kevin De Bruyne, approaching the left-hand corner of the box, whips a right-footed ball in, goes beyond everybody and bounces behind for a goal kick. And I think, Leanne Sanderson, this is what we're going to see for the final 14 minutes. We're going to see the ball in the left-hand side of the field as we look, almost exclusively, with Belgium looking to get an equaliser.
Absolutely, and they're going to come at it. I mean, I just don't sense there's been any urgency from Belgium during this game, and maybe they'll start to kick into place when now they've got a goal behind. But fair play to Morocco. I mean, they've got good players. Saiss has been brilliant, Mazraoui's been brilliant, Boufal actually went off, and I think he's probably been their best player. So it just goes to show you that bringing on that substitute Sabiri, he's taken a chance, take that free kick, and he scored from it. And fair play to Morocco. Like, Belgium have been really, really poor all over the pitch, individually. Courtois there, you know, and it doesn't look like these players individually come to their country and play anywhere near the levels. You don't see Courtois doing that. You know, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You don't see him doing stuff like that. He's commanding. Well, you don't see Eden Hazard not turning on the ball as much as he hasn't played for Real Madrid. You don't see him, you know, not getting on the ball. Kevin De Bruyne giving away the ball, holding on to the ball for too long. I never thought I'd ever say that, because we know how good these players can be. But having said that, though, Dads, they can turn a game on any given moment. Now, this game isn't over, so Morocco need to keep doing exactly what they're doing. We'll see probably a lot more substitutions. There'll be probably a lot of minutes added on at the end, but Morocco have done really, really well, and Belgium have never really looked threatening. They haven't.
Well, they've just made a change, and Unahi, the midfielder, has gone off to be replaced by a defender who plays for Valladolid in Spain, Jawad El Yamik. Ebbsfleet have lost to Fleetwood. That's full time in the FA Cup. Ebbsfleet 0, Fleetwood Town 1, as you've heard from Ian Abrahams. Boreham Wood 2-0 up at Bristol Rovers. Burton 1-0 up in the FA Cup at home to Chippenham. White and Jordan back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on TalkSport. You can hear an exclusive interview that they've done with the head of the 2022 Qatar World Cup, Hassan Al Tawadi. And at this World Cup, Morocco are trying to cause a shock. Would it be on the same level as Saudi Arabia beating Argentina? Wouldn't be far off. Although their rankings aren't that wide apart. Morocco are 22nd in the world. Belgium, though, 2nd in the world. 1-0 to Morocco.
Yeah, I don't think that shock will be as big as this, but this will still be a shock. That absolutely.
Trossard trying to make tracks down the left-hand side, but it's Marshall behind well by El Yamik just on the field. Asks for his supporters behind the goal to show him some support, and they roar their approval back. Goal kick, and the manager down there, 47 years of age, Walid Regragui, won the African Champions League with the Wydad club, played his right back for his country in the 2000s. The man asked to steer them through this World Cup. The nerves on that Moroccan bench, even though there's plenty of time to go, Leanne, must be all over the place right now. 10 to go, 1-0 up.
Absolutely, the Moroccan fans have been incredible during this game. They really have. You can see Hakimi there. He's always looking around. He's on the bench now, looking around as if to say, come on, fans. But it looks like the main man's about to come on. You know, it makes sense. Lukaku, like I said, he clearly doesn't have many minutes in him, because otherwise he would have come on first. But it looks like they're about to make that substitution, and Morocco are going to need to, you know, nullify him as soon as he comes on, because he can be a massive threat.
1-0 to Morocco on TalkSport in the World Cup. But Lukaku will be on very, very shortly. Meantime, there's a free kick as two players went up with high boots, and it was Ziyech that came off worst, despite having given away the free kick as he challenged Witsel. That was the 59th goal at this World Cup, Leanne, but the first direct free kick, and not a direct free kick from the sort of position you would expect, because it was only, I don't know, 5 yards from the dead ball line, down the left-hand side of the box, and Abdelhamid Sabiri who only joined Sampdoria in July, is on the verge of making himself a Moroccan hero. But Lukaku waits on the touchline. Roberto Martinez rocking the dark suit and tan shoes as he always has, and the change he's made, and it's Thomas Meunier who's been asked to make way for the big man, Romelu Lukaku, who has not played for Belgium in some considerable time, but he's on to try and sort this out. It's his first substitute appearance on as a sub for the first time since 2017. He scored after coming on against Cyprus in a World Cup qualifier. Can he repeat that coming on as a sub here with just over 8 minutes to go, plus what will be a fair chunk of added time? It's 1-0 to Morocco. Belgium have a corner. They're 9th of the game, right hand side, and El Yamik is the man who's clearly been detailed to keep an eye on Lukaku, and the referees keep an eye on both of them. Lukaku at the far post, and it's sent his way. Also up goes Vertonghen, and it heads it just wide. Got it well, free-headed. It was only just wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand post as he stood and watched it. Goal kick to Morocco, and they hold on to this precious 1-0 lead live on TalkSport.
That was close from Vertonghen. I mean, it was a good header. I don't think he could have done any more. I think Morocco defended it very, very well, but I just feel with this Belgian team, you know, there's still a long way to go. There's still minutes for them and Morocco just need to try and see out this game. We'll probably see a lot of the time the players going down, trying to waste time and doing the dark arts that I don't particularly like, but you've got to do what you've got to do to win, and fair play to Morocco. But Lukaku's on now, you know, but they need to create. I don't think Belgium have created anything. They didn't create anything for Batshuayi, and they need to create stuff for Lukaku, because, you know, you're not going to, if you don't get in those areas and put the ball where it hurts, Lukaku can only do so much. And they've been going from side to side, Belgium, not really been direct at all. Kevin De Bruyne has just given away the ball completely to nobody, which I thought I'd never say those types of things, because you never ever see Kevin De Bruyne ever giving away the ball. But again, I've probably seen him give away the ball more in this game than I have in like a whole season for Manchester City. It
was just a hopeful diagonal ball in field that was very comfortably cleared by the Moroccan defence. 7 minutes to go. Belgium 0, Morocco 1 on TalkSport. Sabiri with the only goal of the game. Morocco, can they hold out? Belgium trying to come forward down the left-hand side, but Mazraoui will protect the ball behind for a goal kick under pressure from Trossard. And again, that's good defending by the Bayern Munich man, who I know you rate very highly, Leanne Sanderson.
Yeah, I've seen him a lot this year in the Champions League, and I think he's brilliant. I really do. Obviously, a lot of people focus on Ziyech in this team because he's more of an attacking threat, but Mazraoui, I think he's a fantastic player, and we're seeing the replay of the goal again, and it's almost like a carbon copy of the one that was disallowed from Ziyech at the end of the first half. You know, Courtois completely blindsided, and fair play. You know, they scored, Sabiri came on, and if you don't shoot, you don't score from the most acute angle. So Courtois will be disappointed to have conceded from that position, but it just about sums up Belgium's performance, really.
Well, out on the left-hand side with Aboukal. And now Amrabat, whose defensive midfield qualities will be very much needed if Morocco are to see this 1-0 victory out. 6 minutes to go, seconds tick away. All 10 substitutions have been made. Nothing more anybody can do out there. Nothing that Martinez or Regragui can do from the bench in terms of personnel changes. It's down to what our Mexican referee deems is going to be added on at the end of the 90. And here come Morocco, trying to get players forward. Ziyech tries to turn it in field, lovely touch, but across comes Trossard just to keep it away from, I think it was Amala who's coming through, or was it Aboukal? But Morocco suddenly had men over for a moment, and Belgium, well, it is do or die.
Yeah, Trossard, that was really good recovery from Trossard there, because if he wasn't there, you know, Ziyech tried to play him in and it almost came through. So fair play to Trossard that recovered all the way back there, because otherwise Morocco would probably have scored from that position.
5 to go, 1-0 to Morocco. Will be off for a goal at the Pirelli in the FA Cup in a moment as Morocco win it back. Aboukal, oh, great run down the left-hand side. Can he beat Alderweireld? Now, good sliding challenge from Toby Alderweireld, and the ball's back out on the right-hand side and clipped into Mertens, tries to turn it around the corner. Lukaku, pretty much his first involvement. Ball bounces off him. and out to the left-hand side it goes, and Leandro Trossard infield to Tielemans. Tielemans rolls it to the right for De Bruyne. Lukaku calling for the ball into the box, but it won't reach him. Headed out by Morocco, brought down by De Bruyne again. Down the right-hand side, faced up by Amrabat. Good ball into the box. Mertens tries to wriggle clear. Passed out of play for a throw. Let's go to that goal of the Pirelli in the FA Cup. TalkSport, Jess Peters.
It's Burton 2, Chippenham 0. Deji Oshilaja, what a goal. Outside the area, down the right, skip past Hamilton, tight to the byline, into the area, dummied the keeper, left foot finish. Burton 2, Chippenham 0.
4 minutes to go on TalkSport. It's the Al Tumana Stadium where this is happening. And Belgium are bang under pressure. A reminder, if things stay like that, then it really causes them a problem in the group. Morocco would have 4 points, having drawn with Croatia. Belgium would stay on 3. Canada and Croatia meet next live on TalkSport. And who knows what could happen in that game based on what's happening in this one. Amazing stuff. So it is a free kick sent forward, looking for a chest on, but just couldn't hold on to it there. Could Hamdallah, and out it goes for a goal kick to Belgium.
The thing is as well, with the additional minutes, we'll probably see about 6 or 7 at least with regards to how the tournament's gone so far with the additional minutes at the end, because you mentioned all 10 substitutions have been made, so that will yet to be determined. But I think, fair play to Morocco. This second half, they've been brilliant.
Ball up to the edge of the area. It'll play for Leandro Trossard. Looking to wriggle down the left-hand side of the box. Ball to the far post. Won't reach Lukaku. Headed out. Saiss and Aguerd have got their head on most things in this match for Morocco. Now, Tielemans picks it up. Midway point of the Belgian half. Mertens teases it into the area. Over the head of Lukaku. Sails out of play. Goal kick Morocco, and the seconds tick away still further.
Belgium have been poor, really, really poor. And I'm not taking anything away from Morocco because I've given them a lot of praise. The Moroccan fans have been absolutely brilliant, but the Belgium have just been really underwhelming. They haven't clicked, that just about sums it up there. They tried to play a diagonal ball. Saiss just allows it to roll out of play, and Lukaku's almost saying to Kevin De Bruyne, they're under-hitting a lot of the balls into the box as well, which is quite uncharacteristic. Kevin De Bruyne is getting the ball on the right, trying to find Lukaku, and just completely under-hitting it, and it's being headed away. But, now Morocco are going to have to defend for their lives in these dying minutes, and, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But at this moment in time, Belgium don't look that threatening. But having said that, they have good individual players that can change a game in the blink of an eye.
I'll remind you of that stat I mentioned earlier, that Belgium have failed to score in just one of their last 52 internationals since France beat them in the semi-finals of the World Cup in Russia 4 years ago. What a time for that to strike again. And that's what's occurring, because we've only got a minute of normal time left, plus whatever our Mexican referee deems is appropriate for minimum stoppage time. Morocco 1-0 up on TalkSport. Out to the right-hand side it goes for Belgium. And as we suspected, it is all being played in Morocco's half at this point. Can they hold out for what would be a famous, famous victory and pile more pressure on Roberto Martinez as he tries to secure major honours for this talented group of players? De Bruyne with the ball in the box. Acrobatic clearance by Aguerd. Cleared back to De Bruyne. Out to the right-hand side. They're looking to get players in behind. Ball gets to the byline. Goes over the head of Lukaku. Flicked away by Aguerd to keep it away from Trossard, who was coming in at the far post. Kept alive by Vertonghen. It's attack versus defence here. Into the 90th minute. Alderweireld out to the right-hand side. Collects it again. Tries to wriggle past the defender. The ball's blocked by Allah and then rolled up to halfway. A chance now for Hamdallah. Down the left-hand side. He's got no real support. Now he's got players trying to join him. He's trying to get past Witsel. Gets to the byline. Hits it against the head of Courtois. And it goes behind for a corner kick to Morocco as we head towards added time on TalkSport.
Well played for Hamdallah. I mean, he had nothing. He had no other options. He was either going to run it to the corner flag or make something happen, and he's made Courtois draw the save there, and it's gone out for a corner. Be interesting to see now, because what they need to do, looks like there's 5 additional minutes. I'm quite surprised there's not more.
I was waiting for 7 or 8 at least.
But they're going to need to keep it in the corner flag. If I was them, keep it in there, run the clock down, keep doing stuff like this. You've got to do what you've got to do to win the game.
Morocco failed to score in 3 of their last 4 World Cup games and 4 of their last 6. Both World Cup wins came in their final group stage matches of tournaments. They're on the verge of winning their second game and giving themselves something realistic to aim for when they play Canada for the final game, and that could make Belgium-Croatia an absolute humdinger at the end of this week. You'll hear that live on TalkSport. I'll be with Tony Cascarino commentating on that one. It's still 1-0 to Morocco. We're in the first minute of a minimum 5 that have been added on. Alderweireld on the halfway line for the Red Devils. Hits a ball straight down the field. Oh, that's a terrible ball from Alderweireld. And Lukaku throws him the 1,000-yard stare as the ball dribbles behind for a Moroccan goal kick. 1-0 it still is to the Atlas Lions.
That just about sums up their performance today. I mean, Alderweireld has just completely hit and miss-hit a ball going into Lukaku. But, you know, the Belgium-Croatia game before the way the groups panned out was always going to be a great game to watch. But now everything's kind of going to be all on that, a lot more weighing on it in a way that we never expected.
Hamdallah trying to get on the ball at the edge of the area. Can he make some space for a shot? He's been driven wide. Ziyech pulls it back. It's 2-0. Oh my goodness, they've done it. Zakaria Boukal. Joyous scenes as the Africans seal all 3 points, and Belgium are condemned to defeat on match day 2 of Group F. And just like earlier, this group of the World Cup has been blown wide open. What a moment for Morocco, and Belgium are 2-0 down, staring defeat in the face, and Morocco completely deserve it. The goal coming from Zakaria Aboukal. It is 2-0 to Morocco in added time. Brilliant stuff.
Fantastic play from Hakim Ziyech down this right hand side as well. Almost once he got going, he felt like he was going to potentially draw the foul. It looked like Axel Witsel got caught on the ball there as well, but fantastic play, and that is a great finish on the near post. I mean, the ball Ziyech does so well, but that's such a great intricate ball. That really is, and a nice little bend into the top corner. Axel Witsel had no chance there. Fantastic finish, really good goal, and they deserve it. They do deserve it. It's actually really good to see a team that deserve to win. You know, I think the FIFA World Rankings are showing that not all of them are up to match, because how Belgium are ranked number 2 in the world and haven't won a tournament is beyond me. I'm not just saying that because they're not playing well in this game and they haven't played well in the tournament, but definitely Morocco, you know, ranked 22nd in the world. It goes to show you, if you come into a game, you're fearless. They play better. They've been better. No one thought we'd ever be saying that, but Morocco have been better than Belgium, and their fans are absolutely loving it, and they deserve it. They really do.
A roar of joy from Zakaria Aboukal of Toulouse in the French Liga sets the seal, it would appear, on 3 points. Long ball hit downfield, but again Mertens was the target, and he's not the tallest. And we talk about England post-match inquests, Leanne Sanderson, but I imagine the Belgian post-match inquest in their media will be fierce.
And it should be. I mean, Roberto Martinez, I've heard a lot about, he's a good tactician, he's a good manager when he's breaking down games, but these players are not playing their best. You know, individually, they don't look at it at all. And, you know, there have been shocks in this tournament. We've seen them. Japan, Germany, less of a shock, but still people expected Germany to win that game. Saudi Arabia, Argentina, but this will be up there. This will be up there, but Morocco have deserved it. They really have.
Witsel in a race with Ziyech to get to a loose ball. Oh, Ziyech has won it back. Might get helped out by Amrabat, but in fact the offside flag's gone up against it. Belgium trying to get on with it quickly, and then a clash of legs as Belgium tried to clear the ball downfield. And a yellow card for the scorer of the first goal, Abdelhamid Sabiri, for that challenge.
That wasn't that bad. I feel like, you know, it was just a clashing of the legs, and I feel like...
Well, Vertonghen was already way in the air, but it wasn't the greatest looking challenge, but it certainly wasn't as painful. In fact, Vertonghen kicked Sabiri in the chest, and he got the foul, and Sabiri got the yellow card.
Exactly, you could see that there was nothing in that, you can tell.
The full-time whistle goes! Morocco are top of the group! They've beaten Belgium by 2-0. Huge questions about Roberto Martinez and his team. Centurions in the side, vast experience, came to nothing against the African nation, who've beaten them by 2-0. Second half goals in the last 20 minutes. First from Abdelhamid Sabiri, a free kick from a tight angle, beating Courtois at his near post, and then as Belgium pushed forward in added time, a break down the right hand side, Ziyech with a fantastic pullback, and Zakaria Aboukal fired it neatly into the roof of the net to send the Moroccan fans inside the Al Jumana Stadium wild with delight. But the Belgian players trudge off the field to an inquest that will be loud and long, and their game against Croatia later this week is pivotal to the very future of some of those players and their manager. What a day for Morocco, though. It's all about winners, and Morocco have won. Final score in the World Cup Group F on TalkSport: Belgium 0, Morocco 2.
And of course, now that hugely important